Good morning, everybody. Welcome to MS7 Morning Show. Hope you guys have slept well. Hope you had a good morning this morning. Good morning, Cam B. Good morning, Roster. Sim Universe. 1 second. Hello? Hey, you still asleep? Sorry about that. Anyway, good morning, Cam B. Good morning, Roster. Good morning, Sim. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Miss Octavia. Good morning, Shelly Shell. Hope everyone is doing great this morning. I hope you slept well. You had a good weekend. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to get on, Cam. Mr. Butler should be coming in a minute. Good morning, Cam. Good morning, Kenneth. That's the link. Good morning, Wardell. Good morning, Miss Gina. If you haven't, when you come in, could you press the thumbs up, like it, share it, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tell a friend to tell a friend. MS7 Morning Show is on. Let's see. I'll wait a couple of minutes and then I'll start. Yes, thank you, Sim. Good morning, WPPS. Let me see if I'm reading this all right. One more second. I forgot my glasses. Sorry about sorry about that. Forgot my glasses. Let me see. Good morning, Woods, or WQQD. Good morning, Miss Octavia. I'm glad to see Ken is in the chat. He had a little incident, and he's in the hospital. He's in the hospital now, but at least he's able to come and be in the chat through the hospital. He did, when he was telling us earlier about that he was having something going on with being thirsty all the time. He did find out, last night that he is diabetic. So we want to keep Ken in our prayers. We're glad to see him in the chat. We hope he gets better and he was able to get out of the hospital soon, and that he has a Godspeed recovery. So he gave me permission to say this, so I'm saying it because he gave me permission. Go ahead and tell everybody what's going on with him. For those of you, unfortunately, those of you who won your shirts, we're gonna get that taken care of when he as soon as we can, so we get out of the hospital. We're all get together for that. So you guys, your merchandise will still be coming. Those of you who won shirts the other night on his show. So that's good. That he'll be that we'll be able to get them out. Everybody's shirts, so they should be out still in a timely manner. We'll make sure that that's taken care of. So has anyone else received their what's that, Boca Raton? I forgot the name of it. Their remotes. Yes, we want to keep, thank you, Clifford. Yes, we do want to keep Ken in our prayers that he gets better. He just, there's a few things, unfortunately with diabetes, you got to do that lifestyle change and stuff. And I know it's hard at first, trying to change, but, we all gather around him, and love and stuff. And we all help him. He'll pull through it and stuff. And he'll be home from the hospital before you know it. So that's good. Also, let me see. I've been, like I said before, I've been started working on my Formula Z8, and I'm really liking it. I still have yet to put my review list in it, but I did last night put the MS7 Cody build on it, and kind of wish I would have put it on there before I did the little video, but it's really nice. And don't forget, with it, you have to make sure you have your reel to bread. But it's a really nice build. And once again, shout out to Tara. I thank him so much for doing our skin, for our build, and also okay. I thank him so much for doing our skin for our build. I thank French to be and Marcos and I forget his name every time. As a third person, I can't think of his name for nothing at the moment. But I thank them all for hosting our builds, and hopefully we'll be getting some skins soon. And this is our this is the link if anybody wants to get on. This is the link right there. But it's really nice. It's really smooth. Hey,
how you doing?
Hey, hey. I think I was hearing from you this morning.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, hey, everybody, I'm in the hospital, guys, at the moment and stuff. So I'll be being released today. So, just keep me in your prayers and everybody. And just want to say I love everybody in the chat, and I'll be home today, and I may do a live later on this evening.
Sounds good. I saw you laughing.
Yeah, she'll be up here in a minute. Yeah, she'll be up here in a minute. She's usually gonna drink her some coffee and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I just had my cappuccino.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm about to have breakfast up here, and then later on this evening, I gotta wait for the dietitian to come and stuff. Guys, for those that don't know, guys, is that I had found out yesterday that I had got diabetes. So I went in. I've been talking to my team. I'm not having enough to drink and dry mouth, and I'm just, just frequent urinating and stuff. So my best friend, he said, "Man, you might need to go get checked out." And then, so yep. So I came up yesterday, and my sugar was up to four. It was 425. So they immediately rushed. They told me I had to stay and stuff. Well, they told me they couldn't keep me if I didn't want to stay, but they thought it would be in their best interest for me to stay to get my blood sugar down. Yeah. Thanks, Gina. But
Yeah,
yeah,
everybody
I'm
sending
fine.
out prayers.
Yeah, thanks. But I'm fine though now. Like I said, I felt fine when I walked in, but my sugar hit was up. So now they gave me insulin, and they got it way down low. So I'll be able to be released today. They told me not to go to work tomorrow. Just take the day to relax and stuff. My job already knows. So everything's fine. Everybody glad I caught it when I caught it, because most people, that have it that high, they don't really recover that well. So it's
Yeah,
definitely.
it's one day at a time anyway.
Yeah, so it's definitely a lifestyle change, guys. I got to eat better. I got to, you know, I stopped drinking, stopped smoking. So just a lifestyle change. Got to eat better, stay away from the sugars, the salt, and, just kind of do better exercise, more, lose some weight. So you guys are my family, so I don't mind sharing with you guys, because, I love you guys just like you are my real family. But I'm fine. I feel great and everything. So, the dietitian's going to come in and stuff. Yep. Exactly. Southern Tech girl, y'all gotta eat
Hmm.
clean.
Yes, very
Yep.
clean. And I told them a great place to go to is
Yep.
if you're on a budget, go to Save a Lot. I mean
Yep.
Artie's. I'm
Got
sorry, not Save a Lot. Artie's. Artie's is a great place.
shout out
You can
shout out
start
to
off
my
at.
team. I just want to say shout out to my team. Shout out to Strick and Sharon, Mr. Butter. Everybody pinned, all my team reached out to me, and Strick and Sharon is like a sister to me. She's like my sister, and she called every step of the way. She was concerned. She called. And Mr. Butter is like my brother, so they all called P.M. my little brother. So P.M. my little big brother, Technology King, everybody called, so I really appreciate MS7, my team, really reaching out to me and stuff. So, but I'm fine, guys. I'm good. Can't wait to get back to work. And what I mean by work is get ready to go live with you guys, because I'm off for the whole weekend now, because I'm not going to go into work tomorrow. So I'm just going to relax and do some streaming, uh, go back into the lab and get busy.
You'll be on the show tomorrow morning.
I will. I'll be
You
there.
will. Okay. Okay.
Yep,
If
yep.
you're able to, now if you don't feel up
Like
to
I
it, I
said, no,
understand.
no, 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 no. Like I said, Sugar Sharon, I'm fine. Like I said, I felt like I
Hmm.
feel the same way I felt yesterday. But like I say,
Hmm.
just to being thirsty and stuff. That was just that, and which now I can tell that the medicine is helping, because I haven't touched no water this morning at all, and I'm a little embarrassed, but I've only urinated one time today, so I know that, so I know that's gone. So I know all that's gone. So I feel a lot better first with that. So, just a lifestyle change I got to do. So, but no, I feel fine though, Sugar Sharon. Like I said, I felt fine yesterday too. So I'll be there Saturday.
Yes. Yeah. What did you say? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You can, like I said, to me, your lifestyle's change. And people think it start out with working out, but it actually starts in the grocery store. You
Yes,
can
it does.
exercise all you want to, but if you're not eating right, it's not going to do a thing. So when
Right.
you do a lifestyle change, start at the grocery store and always start in the produce. Always go straight there. Even when you get to the belt checkout, put your produce on there, like it's which it
Yeah.
is a matter of life and death. Let the other stuff, if you gotta put something back, put the other stuff back. Don't put back your produce first, your fruits and vegetables.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, everything is like I said, it's baby steps. It's baby steps. And even with your lifestyle change, I tell people this because I've done it before. I've helped people do it. I was telling Kent earlier. always give yourself a cheat day. And the reason why I say give yourself a cheat
All
day
right,
is
Sugar, I got to
because,
go. Okay.
okay, then, all right, then,
Thank you.
well,
All right, y'all. See y'all. I'll see y'all.
all
I'll
right,
talk to y'all tomorrow. Okay.
all
Or
right,
later
then,
on tonight. I'll talk to y'all. Okay. All right. Bye bye.
all right, then, all right, bye bye,
Bye bye.
bye bye. Yeah, I say always give yourself a cheat day because if you don't give yourself a cheat day, you will regress faster. Most people will regress faster. Some people can do cold turkey, some people can't. Some people, and I'm not saying go wild on your cheat day, but it's hard to change from a way you've been eating for years to a different way of life. Yes, keto is great. Pinterest is your friend. Pinterest, you can go and join Facebook groups. And I think they got a couple of, unfortunately, they don't have as many Telegram groups, but they do. I know they have a couple of Telegram groups you can go to also. But I like Pinterest the best out of all of them, as far as healthy eating and everything. So it's one day at a time. It's baby steps. Like I told them, you could even with your lifestyle change, if you have to start out with working out, only exercising in between commercials, you know, start off with that. If you have a park near you, especially a school is even better than a park because most schools, especially a high school, has a track. And you start off walking one or two times, and you slowly build yourself up to a couple of more times. You eventually before you know it, you walk further than you do. You know, some places, if it's not that far, instead of getting in the car to go walk, the weather's getting beautiful outside and everything, walk there, you know. But, it's all in baby steps. Another thing, as far as a lifestyle change you can do is, another thing you can do also, yeah, you can find keto recipes on Facebook, yes, and on YouTube, yes, YouTube. There's a lot of people I follow on YouTube, and keto, even Aldrin, fellow YouTuber, he does a lot of great keto recipes when he's not doing, his services. He does a lot of great keto recipes. He does some pretty good ones too. Keto is pretty good. But even if it's not exactly keto, even though keto is great, um, everybody, just like with the streaming devices, do the ones that work best for you. A lot of times, if you can help it, if you know you're going to bed at 9 at night, try not to eat no later than 5:30. 6 o'clock, at least over 2 hours before time to go to bed. At least 2 hours at the most before time to go to bed. Give your food time to digest. Another thing to do when you're doing a lifestyle change is this is what I've learned, and this is what I do when I am on it. I did fall off the wagon this pandemic, but always eat this way. This is the best way to keep it if you really think about it. In the morning, eat like a king. In the afternoon, eat like a prince. And at dinner, eat like a pauper. And what that means is have breakfast be your biggest meal because you're burning off your calories all day anyway. And then, and then always, if you can, eat every couple of hours, small snacks in between. Every couple of hours, something small and stuff. Because small is more. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. You're going to have to tell us more about that, Camby. Okay, let me put my glasses on so I can see it better. Okay, I had to change my lifestyle. I've even been able to set and go 2 years now. I figured out it was for the better. Yes, it is for the better in the long time. You have more energy. You'll be like, oh, where did I get all this energy from? And stuff. So yeah, we always talk about investing in your devices, but how could you invest in your devices if you don't invest in yourself? You have to invest in yourself first. And you invest in yourself, you'll be healthy enough to go do the other stuff. Yes. Intermittent eating. Yes. Intermittent eating. Yes, right. That's exactly the word I was looking for. Can be. Intermittent eating. Good morning, Miss Carla. Um, Intermittent eating, like several small meals throughout the day. And a lot of times at night, when you feel like you're so hungry, you're not really hungry, you're thirsty. So get a big glass of water and go ahead and drink it about one glass or two or whatever. Wait about 30 minutes to an hour. If you're still hungry, try a little more water and stuff. If you're still hungry, then you're really hungry. And if you have to eat something at night, get something light. Get the lightest fruit or something, that you can eat and stuff. But your goal is to be done eating by a certain time and just, drink if you can through the night. Yes, I'd like to thank everybody for coming once again. And if you can, hit that thumbs up. Let's see. Yes, glad to talk about it on Friday. The barber, okay, in the morning. Okay, all right then. I can understand that. That's fine, Kim. But yes, as far as working out, and then a lot of people don't have the money to go to the gym. There's plenty of right at home. There's plenty of apps. There's even with some of these IPT services, they have the exercise channel. So you can do some of them when you're at home, and you don't got to do just go full out doing a big time workout and stuff. Do what little you can and build yourself up. Like I said, if you have to start off only doing something during the commercial, okay, well I'm just gonna walk in place during this commercial. Okay, I'm gonna sit up and get down, or use your furniture you got at home. You don't got to go all big and get all the big stuff yet. You can use your furniture to do things. It's a lot that you can learn. I said, and that's another thing. It's all about doing your research. It's all about doing your research and stuff, because our goal is we want to live health. Okay, rice cakes. Okay, I never really was into rice cakes. They probably are good, but I know when I tried them years ago, I didn't like them. But hey, everybody likes something different. I don't like mushrooms, but a lot of people like them. And then, like I was talking about the other day, we were talking about food. I was saying the sneaky vegetable thing. You may not be big into vegetables, but cauliflower, you can make so much stuff out of cauliflower. Cauliflower rice, cauliflower mashed potatoes. I use cauliflower and make pizza, make homemade pizza. They got several recipes on Pinterest. You can make the spaghetti squash, put it in a crock pot for a couple of hours, let it soften up, cut it out, and separate it from the seed, get the noodles out of it, and cook it like a regular spaghetti. You can make your own homemade barbecue sauce, your own homemade, everything you do, you can make a tweak. That's when you really learn how to definitely cook. Because everything, but let me see how I can tweak it to make it healthier. Rice cakes with peanut butter. Okay. I can't see. I'm not really into rice cakes, and I can't eat peanut butter. I'll be there with Ken at because I'm allergic to it. I'll be in the hospital right there like he at if I eat some peanut butter. But yes. Let me see. Oh yeah. Hello, Miss Jazzy Jazz. But yeah, it's all about and another thing, if you could help it, write down everything. Start a journal. Writing out what you ate, how you ate, take pictures of it, reward yourself, and in the end, you can start rewarding yourself with other items. Oh, I've lost this much weight. Okay, I'm gonna treat myself by going to get this new outfit this week, or I'm gonna treat myself by going to go do whatever this week. I'm going to go, find if in the end, if you can, find other ways to reward yourself to keep you from going. Get a buddy system. Have people that hold you accountable. It's so much easier when you got somebody doing it with you. Egg roll, okay. Egg roll in a bowl. That sounds good. I'm gonna have to look that up. Egg roll in a bowl. And speaking of eggs, protein is very good in diet. And well, I'm not gonna call it diet because I don't like to use the word diet because I'm not trying to die. None of us trying to die to stay healthy. So lifestyle change is a better word that I prefer anyway. Because no one's trying to die to stay healthy. Oh, definitely. But we'll probably most likely, if we don't do it today, we definitely could do it Monday because we do have something scheduled for Friday's show, but which is tomorrow. But definitely Southern Tech Girl, you're welcome to come on anytime. If you want to come on now, you can come on. I'll put the link in the chat. You're always welcome. Any of you in the panel, any of you in the chat, you're always welcome to come on. Unless it's something we specifically have in. Good morning, Iconic Matrix. unless it's something that we particularly have a closed panel about. If we're talking about something and you know something, you're more than welcome to come on here, because I know I don't know everything. And a lot of times, a lot of you in the chat may know more than I do, or more than all of us do that's up here on the panel. Only difference is that we're on the panel, but don't make us better than you. That's why I like the way that we do our morning show, because I like to have everybody inclusive, you know. If anybody got something they want to say and they want to get on the panel because when they're typing it or might misunderstood what they wrote, then definitely always feel free to come on the panel. That's the reason why I put that's why I always put it in the chat instead of opposed to sending it backstage, because if somebody knows about it, they can click on the link and come on, you know. Okay, let me see what Mr. Carter said. Okay, my window eating. Yes, from 1 to 8:30. Yes, and drink water. Yes, that's yes. And I mean, I think this is going to be a great show that we can do it. Unfortunately, I'll let you know later, but we cannot do it Friday because we already promised something for Friday. We already supposed to have a show about something else on Friday. That's the only reason why I can't do it Friday. And then Saturday we will be having our giveaway Saturday, and it'll be at 5 for the Father's Day giveaway. But if we're able to, you know what, we'll see if we can do it Friday. Maybe we can do it Friday. I'll see. I'll talk to the team. Hopefully we can still get that in Friday, because this is, especially while it's fresh, it'll be a great topic that we can do Friday. And anybody else that wants to come on the panel could come on, but we'll see. But yeah, when you change your lifestyle, like I said, it's not easy right away. It takes time. It's baby steps. If you can help it, eat out of a smaller plate. That alone helps cut down your food. And try your best not to go back to seconds. Drink a nice full cup of water or beverage, water preferably, before you eat. Give it a few minutes. Don't drink it and then eat right away. And another thing too is we do something that we don't think about it, but you really don't supposed to eat and drink together. I know we always do that, but you're really supposed to, if you eat, you're supposed to wait 30 minutes before you drink. If you drink something, you're supposed to wait about 30 minutes before you eat. But a lot of us do eat and drink together because it's just a habit we've always had. I would join y'all, but just on work conference call. I'm listening in the background. Okay. Well, if we do it, Miss Seven Tech Girl, it'll probably be Friday, or if not this Friday, one day next week. I'll get what can be if we can't do it this Friday because of what we have planned for Friday. And by the way, Penn and Technology King, they're working on something in the background, so they're not unable to be here today as well. Mr. Butler, I don't know. I thought he would be here. He'll probably be here pretty soon. He may have just been tired. Maybe his sleep came down on him. Good morning, Uno Nice. But yeah, just take baby steps with that. Just, with the working out, with the going to the store. Like I say, always, if you can help it, meal plan. Get you a list. Meal planning is your best friend. It really is, because you know exactly what you're going to get when you go to the store and stuff. Even if you meal plan and you go to the grocery store and you get them, them containers to make your portion size meals and do that for the week, that saves a lot. That helps a lot. You already know what you're going to eat. Okay, I got this out that I'm going to eat for a bit. And that helps you with portion sizes. You can do that and freeze it up. And all you got to do is warm it up when the time comes. When you go out, protein. I can't eat peanut butter, unfortunately. But if you can have nuts or peanuts, peanut butter or cheese, any type of protein you can keep with you. Keep you some protein on you. And bread, unfortunately, bread is your enemy. I don't care if it's wheat bread, whatever kind of bread it is. Bread is your enemy. Bread expands in your body like a balloon when you eat it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you may know that. Some of you don't. And then another thing, while he was saying he was a diabetic, if you could help it, stay away from diet drinks. Aspartame I don't know if you guys know or not, but it contains feces. And I know nobody wants to purposely drink feces. Good morning, Philly Cable Dave. Oh, okay. All right, then. Well, we're glad to see you stop by, Philly Cable. Hello, Miss Sandy B. So yes, aspartame, like I said, it has feces in it, and it has. I posted in MS7 that has a lot of bad side effects. Let me see so I can read them, because I know that's the first thing a lot of people go to when they can't drink and they still, stuff. They go to diet this and diet that, and also make sure you read your labels. Read your labels. Good morning, Noir. Read your labels. Your labels are very important. A lot of stuff that's low in sugar is high in sodium. A lot of stuff that's low in sodium is high in sugar. So you must really read your labels on everything. Don't trust nothing, especially them instant foods you can throw in the microwave. Those are already bad. If it's something you can throw in the microwave, yes. Miss Carter Stevenson said it the best. Sugar is the devil. And if you can stay away from sugar as much as possible and stuff. Me personally, one of my number one seasoning in my house is Mrs. Dash. It's low sodium, and I'm not diabetic or anything like that, but if you can get ahead of it, it's best to always try to get ahead of it. Okay. Put that in my glasses. 1 second. Do you think it would be okay? Okay, comment question. Did you think you ever would be on a platform like this? I kind of did, but not in streaming. I thought originally when I started my thing, I started off as Shrinking and Sharon. I know I look totally different than I did a year ago, but before the pandemic, I was really into fitness, working out, and everything. And the reason why my name was Shrinking Sharon is because of fitness reasons. So I started my channel, but I didn't keep it because I was letting other things get in the way. My channel was supposed to be about working out and fitness, so I don't know that I would have been doing live, but I knew that I would be trying to do videos on fitness and working out and lifestyle change. So that's the reason why my name is Shrinking Sharon. And what was the other question you asked? Kinda. I kind of wanted to do it, but I kind of more wanted to do it originally with my daughter because I knew that she loved YouTube, and it wasn't even so much for me. Originally, I wanted to work on her little channel. Because she has a little channel which I've been working on forever. We need to get back to working on it, The World According to Brooke, because she loves the vlogging, singing, and all the things like that. But now that I do what she really wants to do, she's like, "Mommy, we need to work on my channel. We need to work on my channel." I joined the group because I like the Kenneth. I like the Kenneth a lot, and Mr. Butler and stuff. And a lot of people, I I've been watching the chat and everything, and a lot of people I kind of was familiar with just talking in the chat and stuff. And I decided I would give it a try. I mean, the worst thing, I'll give it a try, and if it worked, that would be great. If it didn't, I tried. So that's my reason why I joined it, and I'm glad I did join it because it brought me out my shell a little bit. Because I was always good at talking to people in the chat, but I was so nervous about getting on a platform like this talking to people. So if 4 days a week, yes. 4 days a week and you go back on keto. Oh yes. And also it takes 21 days to change. It takes 21 days to change it. I forgot what word I was going to say, but anyway, to change your lifestyle. 21 days, to form a habit. So one time when I was doing my lifestyle change, I did this challenge. I think it's a great challenge. I'm going to do it again. And anybody, maybe we could post in Telegram what we cooked and everything. I think that would be great to do. Is fire your restaurant for 30 days because there's really nothing good at the restaurant. You don't know what they're putting, even though I know I go to the restaurant, I'm very guilty at it. But you don't, especially since this pandemic, you don't know what they put in that food. You don't know. They say the ingredients and stuff, but a lot of restaurants, especially the fast foods. Good morning, Quentin. Good morning, Mr. James. Good morning, Wardell. A lot of them have such bad foods in there. And if you can fire your restaurant for 30 days, that would get you training to cook the way you should cook. If you can fire your restaurant for 30 days. Okay. Yes. Look for seasonings like Dash. Yes, I love Mrs. Dash. Use flavor goods instead of, yeah, they're keto friendly. Yeah, so you can look up keto and keto will give you a list you can print out or you can write down. That's why I say it's always best to go ahead and write out your meal plan. Not only write out your meal plan, but when you get home, package it. I personally, what I do is, especially when I'm doing my lifestyle thing, I take it straight from there and put it in Ziploc bags and put it in a form of meals that I'm going to cook anyway. So I always group them things together. So when I get ready to make something, I'm not like, oh, what I'm going to cook. I already have it together, and I have it written out what I want and what meal goes for what. Thank you. When I create my Telegram. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Una Nice. Yes, mix up your own seasonings. A garden is great if you can get out there and plant. You really know what's in your foods and stuff. But yeah, you can mix up your own seasonings. Get some bay leaf, some parsley, different things like that. You know. Yeah, I'm going to check that out too and stuff. You know. Like I said, it's not easy, but like I said, to find your restaurant thing. Good morning, Ma, dear. I'm gonna put the link in the chat because we're talking about food today, and I know you love to talk about that. I'll put the link if you like to get on, Ma, dear. Okay, and he said one of the best sites for workouts for anyone in meal plan is so much more. So I'm gonna write that down because you guys, like I said, we always learn from each other here. So those of you, if you can, write that down. That's a great site if you like to check it out. But like I was saying earlier about defining your restaurant, if you can say for example you got a taste for burgers or taste for whatever, try to make that at home. Try to make that at home. Expand your horizons. I know sometimes cooking seems like it's so overwhelming. And if you don't like to cook every day, there's this thing called that you can bulk cook. Cook all your food up for the week on a Saturday or a Sunday. And then you can place them in the containers. And then all you got to do is warm them up as you eat. Now, a thing that my family loves that I make, that I do cook in bulk, and I put it in the freezer. And if I don't have time, which I need to get back to doing because I haven't done it in like about a month now, is some egg frittatas, which is mini omelets. And what you do is you put all the ingredients in there that you like, maybe peppers, onions, maybe salsa, whatever you like to put in your omelet and stuff. You put it in a muffin pan. Spray your muffin pan. You put it in your muffin pan. Mix up your eggs. You pour your eggs over it, and you cook it for 20 minutes. And they're called egg frittatas. And what I do is when I cook mine like that, I eat what I'm gonna eat that day, maybe one of them, maybe two, and put the rest in the freezer. So when I'm having a day like this, or not to like this because I had time today, but if I have a day where I don't have time to really cook anything, I just pop one of them out the freezer and throw it in the microwave. Done like that. Yes. This is no problem. Also, when frying avocado oil instead. Yes, be careful of the oils you pick. Yes, you're right. That's very coconut oil, avocado oil. Be careful because them seasonings can have a lot to do with your food. You could be trying to eat as healthy as you can, but if you're putting the wrong seasoning in there, it's almost like you best went to McDonald's to get your food. So you got to be yeah, coconut oil is another good one. Yes, coconut oil. And you know what? Another thing, speaking of avocado oil and coconut oil, not only is it good to eat with, it's also good for your hair. Like with your hair, and instead of using regular hair grease, for those who may use hair grease, I use coconut oil, avocado oil. I make my own homemade mixture and stuff. I use them ingredients like that because it's better for your hair. So not only is it better for your skin, it's better for your hair because you got to take care of the outside of your body as well as the in as much as you can. Yeah, air fryer. Air fryer is really good too to use. Yeah, air fryer. Anything that's going to steer you to better food and healthier food. Okay, yes, my dear, I agree. I agree. Like I said, you're welcome to join the panel if you like, but I understand if you're working in the background. But yeah, and also a lot of people do this plan, and I'm going to get back to doing it. It's called you don't got to use it at 5 a.m. per se, but I see a lot of people doing the 5 a.m. plan, and it's basically that you get up at the same time every morning. You wake up at the same time every morning. Use that time aside, extra time to work out, to get your mind to meditate, to get the stuff did that you need. Now it seems like, especially if you got children, I just can't get anything done. You get up at that same time and get that mindset done. Not only does it help you get things you need to get done throughout the day better, but it helps you get to bed at a decent time because you're going to be tired and stuff. And it does. And then when you change, especially if you're the head of household, it'll help your family change as well. So I think I am going to go a little bit back to that 5 a.m. challenge. My dear says avocado oil is great in cast iron. Yes, because it is high smoke point. Coconut oil has a much lower smoke though. Okay. My main seasoning is Mrs. Dash, whatever Mrs. Dash is, and surprisingly, pepper. Also, mayonnaise is very high in fat. If you can make your own mayonnaise, make it because it's full of sugar. And I don't care what kind of mayonnaise you get, it's not really that good. Mustard has really no calories in it. Yeah, olive oil is good for the whole body. Yes, inside and out. You can consume olive oil. You can put it in your hair. You can put it on your skin as like a lotion. It's good for your whole body, olive oil. I'm sorry, coconut oil. And surprisingly, that's the only nut I'm not allergic to, so I definitely use it. I don't consume it because I don't like the taste of it, but I do use it on everything else. And yeah, I was surprised. I had got a Instapot, and I was surprised. But actually, it was given to me for Christmas, and I just opened it up like 2 weeks ago, and I was surprised the Instapot that was gifted to me. It's not only an Instapot, it's an Instapot and an air fryer. And your food comes out so good, you don't have this guilt about using all that bad oil or whatever. So yeah, Instapots are great. Instapots are great. But like I was saying, write out your stuff. Try to go to bed if you can. Sleep is people don't think about it, but sleep is a big part of your lifestyle change. Getting enough rest. If you're not getting enough rest, that's gonna throw off your whole body. I love my Instapot too, Southern Tech girl. I love my Instapot. I got 2 Instapots of that. I love mine. Um, Getting enough rest. You got to get enough rest. If you're not getting enough sleep, that's going to throw off your whole body. That's going to throw off your whole routine. It's going to make you grouchy. You know. Good morning, Dario. Great show last night. Yeah, it's going to throw off your whole body. So make sure, if you can, get as much rest as possible. Naps are okay. Take a nap if you need to. Just make sure your body has that time to. It's kind of like we say with our devices. You know how we say with our devices, it needs a hard reset, and you need to, like with your internet or whatever, unplug it once a week for a couple of minutes and stuff. Well, our way of going to sleep is our body's way of doing a hard reset. So try your best to get that rest if you can, because the rest is really important in lifestyle changing. Rest is what little you can do in the morning. Like I said, exercise during commercials if you can. If it's nothing but walking instead of if it's somewhere oh yes, I use grapeseed oil in my hair as well, and grapeseed oil is also good for cooking as well. But yes, if it's somewhere that's not that far, instead of getting in that car, walk there, and walk back. If you don't have a park or anything, walk around the block. Okay, this time we're gonna walk around the block. One or two times. Every time, increase it. This week it's going to be 2 times. Next week we're going to see if we can move it up to 3 times. And just slowly move up. Just moving. Moving alone is exercise. Moving alone is an exercise. Just moving, just getting your body going, getting that blood pumping and stuff. And like I said, try to keep up with your protein, much as possible. Now, don't personally like the calorie counting thing. I don't do the calorie counting because I absolutely hate it. I've tried charting that way, and I'm just not good at that. I'm just not good at that. And like I said earlier, get yourself a cheat day. Definitely, you need a cheat day. You need a day that you could, and I'm not talking about, when I say a cheat day, that don't mean all day you're going to sit there and eat cookies and chips and stuff like that. No. I mean, indulge in 1 or 2 things that you like that you would not normally eat. And it doesn't have to even be necessarily, yes, I love walking too. I walk everywhere just about. I walk. And a lot of times when I walk, it's so funny because I tell my daughter, oh, we're just going to go to the corner store and back. And the next thing you know, we've walked so far. And my daughter be like, Mommy, I thought you said we were just going to the corner store. Well, we're out already. I go, I'm out. I may as well go here. It's just a little bit further. Next thing you know, went on a good walk. You done got some good exercise. Always keep that bottle of water. Drink, but don't over drink the water, because I had my brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law, a couple of years ago. He was in the hospital like Ken is now because he had an overdose of water. Because he was drinking a lot of water, kind of like Ken, and he just couldn't drink enough water. And he was drinking water. He ended up being in the hospital for overdose of water. So you can't overdose on water. So you can get other alternative drinks too sometime, because some people even gorge out on water if that's all they're drinking. So me, I like to drink my green teas, So when I'm drinking throughout the day, I'm drinking water, green tea, different things like that. Even with coffee, you don't got to give up coffee. Matter of fact, coffee is not bad for you if it doesn't have anything in it. Once you add stuff in it, that's what makes coffee bad. We add the creamers and sugar and all that stuff in there, but black coffee, even with a couple of times before, I went on liquid diets where for a couple of days because I just needed to detox my body, and it's time for me to do that again. And people are, oh, you're going to starve. You're not going to starve. Your body is made of water, I get me a low sodium broth. I drink on that. You can eat Jello. You can drink. You can drink pop. Yes, Ken is in the hospital. He found out last night that he is diabetic. He had been talking for weeks about he couldn't drink enough water. He drinks so much water. He just always drinking water. He got where he was drinking. I think he said 8 big gallons of water a day or something and stuff. So yeah, last night they admitted him in the hospital, but he should hopefully be getting out today. But he still can't go back to work till probably next week because they took all night to get his sugar back to normal. So thank God that they got his sugar regulated. And that's what led us talking about the lifestyle change, because the doctor did tell him he was going to indeed need a lifestyle change. So, you know, you can keep your prayers for Kenneth and stuff. You know, our prayers go out to him. And like I told him, I joined the journey with him because I need a lifestyle change. And those of you who want to join the journey with us, you're welcome to it. I welcome us posting pictures of what we made, posting pictures of you know, you don't have to post pictures of yourself if you don't feel comfortable with posting pictures of, and you don't even got to you know, you can put down how much you weigh. I hate, even though I can get down to 0 and I hate looking at the scale. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the scale is my enemy. But if anybody want to, they are welcome to join. Even if any other team wants to join the Lifestyle Challenge with us. Oh, and another great thing with Lifestyle Change is smoothies. I mean, you know, making them. I have I can't think of the name of it. Hold on a second. A NutriBullet. I love my NutriBullets, especially on mornings. Like I said, like the extra type of thing on mornings when you don't have time, you can drink your vegetables. It's just as good. I love my NutriBullet. I have the whole Ninja Kitchen system. You can make so many healthy lifestyle foods with that. And we were gonna. I know a couple of times in the past, the real you've have tried to do. You know, been doing your lifestyle change. We're gonna probably. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it Friday, but maybe next Friday, if you're available, maybe you could join the panel with us, and we're going to talk about, you know, eating and lifestyle changes and stuff, and what worked for you and what doesn't work for you. Cam B and I, and maybe Southern Tech Girl, and anybody else is welcome. So if you want to come on the panel, that would be a great day to have a discussion on that. Yes, if you're using anything like grapeseed or olive oil, use Expeller Express. Yes, it's more cleaner. And also cold press. I know for your hair, you got to use, you can't put any kind of olive oil in your hair. It has to be cold pressed. So make sure it's cold pressed. If I use, I know I told you guys I use that in my hair a lot. Olive oil, make sure it says cold pressed, even if it's organic, you know. It's a cleaner way of oil and stuff. So, you know, I hope you guys got your pen and paper. I know we're not really talking about devices today, but sometimes, like I said, even with your devices, you have to take care of yourself first. You know, you have to take care of yourself or you're not going to. Yes, the scale is evil. The scale is evil and sugar is evil. Sandy B, you're right. But I go by clothes too. I remember one time I was on a lifestyle change. I was so scared to get on the scale. I was like, I'm not getting on the scale. I'm not getting on the scale. And I went to the store and I got all these clothes. And I was like, I'm not big to go in the dressing room and try on clothes. And when I got home, I couldn't fit none of them. I had to take them back because they were all too big for me because of what I thought in my mind I was. And that's another thing why I tell you it's very mental. Lifestyle change is more mental than anything. So you got to be prepared for it because even when you're losing weight, your body's losing weight and you're looking good, your mind is not ready to accept that. It's very hard for your mind to accept something new. And people are, oh, you look good, you lost weight. You accept it sometimes, but you don't accept it because sometimes your mind doesn't mentally catch up to what your body is doing and stuff. So sometimes a lot of people do still have that mental in them that way. I love my NutriBullet too. Could you guys tell me some of the things that you may have made in your NutriBullet? Oh yes, I love Vitamix too. I wish they would give us a discount, being that the company's here in Ohio and not that far from me. I wish they would give us Ohio is a discount. So I've always wanted a Vitamix. I've been wanting a Vitamix. I should have got one, but I got NutriBullet and a Ninja Kitchen system now. Yes, you and mayo. Yes, yes, make it yourself. Add olive oil, onions, peppers. I'm gonna write that little recipe down, Mr. James. Actually, I'll just watch the replay so I can write down what I need to watch. I'm not gonna hold it up. Okay, can be said cold. Yes, cold press too. If you're missing sandwiches and your lifestyle change. Yes, lettuce wraps is the best. You can use that in place of bread. I make lettuce wraps all the time. And like I said, I practically don't eat bread because bread actually really does blow up in my body and it'll make me sick. I can't even eat and maybe because I've been eating different for so long, I can't even eat a dollar hamburger. I would get sick as a dog if I eat more than 3 bites of it. I can feel my body getting full and I will be praying to the porcelain god. So, and that's because I stayed away from bread so long. So when I eat bread, bread is very hard for my body to digest. So lettuce wraps are great. But when I do go get bread, I get that very thin, flat bread. And I make homemade pizza. And my kids love that. The homemade pizza is very good. That does sound good, Mr. James said. Very good. Yes. But yes, what are some of the things that you guys use, cook on your deep fryer or your NutriBullet or your Ninja Kitchen system if you have one? What are some of the things that you make? Like I can't even think of the name of it, broccoli, different stuff like that in my smoothies. Cutting up my own vegetables, even bananas. I freeze bananas all the time. You can make the best pancakes using bananas and stuff. You don't even really need the pancake mix and stuff. I make banana pancakes all the time, and they are so good. So there's a lot of alternatives that you can use. You know, when you're cooking meals, it's a lot of stuff. You'll find out it'd be surprising all the stuff you can substitute, and it's just as good and sometimes even better. Like I said, if you want to cook out, you don't have to give up cooking out, grilling. You can grill and make your own barbecue sauce. Just tweak your recipes. Tweak your recipes to what's healthy for you and your family. And I know it's hard. And the reason why I say you got to be mentally prepared for lifestyle change, because a lot of times people in your family, they're not prepared to go on a lifestyle change because you are, and it's hard when you see everybody else eating what you've been used to eating for years and you can't eat it. It's very hard. But if you can condition yourself, if you can help journal what you're going through, I mean, journal as much of the positive. Don't focus on the negative. Focus as much as positive as you can. So you can look back on your progress. That helps a lot. Get a friend, get a buddy. I mean, even we can come together as a community because you really need that support system. It's hard going through that. Any change is hard going by yourself. Like I said, you see everybody around you doing something different. For example, I don't really drink at all, and I definitely don't smoke. But if I've seen people, it's hard for them to get off of smoking, get off of drinking, especially if everybody around them is doing it. That's why so many people relapse a lot when they go in rehab, because it was a great support system when they were in rehab. It was a great support system when they were you know, they got all the help they needed from the doctors and everything. But once they got home, they got thrown back in the same situation they was in before they even left. Good morning, Miss Lenore. Yes, make pizza with no dough. Cheese, pepperoni, peppers, and ham. Oh, that sounds good. Fortunately, I couldn't eat the ham part, and that's only because the sodium. But yes, that sounds very good on your stove. Yes, okay. And so, what do you use? Do you use the cauliflower instead of the dough? Then, do you, Miss Sandy B? What do you use? Also, Cam B says, check out Primal Kitchen, which I'm going to check that out. Let me write that down. You guys got me writing my notes this morning. Okay, that's a YouTube page. Okay, no, .com. Yeah, and portion sizes, like I said, is very big in lifestyle change. Your portion size, yes, base cheese. Yes, use cheese as a base. Okay. I'm gonna have to try that. I've done the cauliflower one before, but I've never done that. Using cheese as a base. That sounds good. That's something I would like to try. But like I said, because a lot of times when I cook and stuff, I pre-prep my meals. My meal plan starts with my notebook. I write down what I have to have. So I'm already have written out what I want to eat when I go to the store. And definitely, like I said, one of the first places to go to is go to the produce first. The produce first. Don't get distracted by the other areas if you're grocery shopping, because you want to make sure you get all the produce you need to get. Then go to the other things, you know. Good morning, Mr. Maldiv. How are you doing this morning?
Morning. Not too
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, everybody's out. Penn and Technology King, they're working on that game changer in the background.
So they're like, oh, you're talking about food this morning. We're not getting on it.
Yeah, and Ken's in the hospital, and that's why we're talking about it. He found that he had to go to the hospital. They ended up putting him in the hospital last night. He had found out he has diabetes.
Okay, is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He was on here a little bit early this morning. He said he's hoping to be released today.
Oh, okay. So nothing major.
Nothing major. They want to keep him another day, but he's trying to see if he can get out today. I told him, take it easy. Don't be rushing out the hospital if they're not ready to get you out.
Yeah, he's not me. He can't rush it.
All right. I mean, they're already not letting him go back to work before next week. So, yeah.
Let's face it, we all try to rush out. So.
And plus, I don't know if you guys know this, but I told him, I said, don't be in a rush to get out of the hospital if they let you out this morning. Your insurance gets charged for that whole day.
Yep.
If you come in, exactly. You can go in and get checked in at 8 o'clock. They look at, okay, today is June the 16th. They charge you that whole full day for June the 16th.
Yep.
So you may as well, I stay to dinner time. Unless it's something I got to get home for. I'm like, y'all going to feed me all three of my meals and then I go home.
Oh, no. When I had my heart cath, they came in there and said, I ended up leaving like an hour earlier than they were even planning on the earliest they would let me leave, just because of how fast I recovered.
Wow.
And I got out early too after my cardioversion treatment, and because of the same thing. But it's only because of sheer willpower, because any type of anesthesia, when it knocks me out, it rocks my world, is the only way to put it.
Wow.
The doctors will talk to me after they wake me up. I don't remember anything usually for about the first 30 minutes after anesthesia wears off, or they wake me up.
Yeah, that anesthesia sometimes can be so powerful. I remember one time when I had surgery and I woke up out of it, and it was just like I wasn't even there. I didn't remember what happened the rest of the evening. I was like, really? And then another time I had surgery, I thought I was going to have another emergency surgery. They had to give me a blood transfusion because I ended up getting a blood clot.
Now, for me, it just is like when I first wake up, like the first 20, 30 minutes, I don't remember anything from that. But I'm usually fine after that. I'm groggy until I can get up and move, which is what I told them after my heart cath. I'm like, look, as long as I lay here, I'm going to look like there's no way I'm leaving today. I said, let me set up and stand up. And then it was like 20 minutes later, I did 3 laps around the ward with them. And they're like, okay, well, we'll make the call for your person to come and get you and everything. You're ready to go. I'm like, I told you.
That's exactly what I did. I remember when I had my daughter, I had a C-section. And I was in so much pain, but I was determined to get out of that bed, because that bed takes your strength.
Oh, it does.
That bed takes your strength. I was like, let me sit up, like you said. I sat in that chair. That evening, I was sitting in the chair because I was determined I was going to get out of here. I wasn't going to let, and because I knew I had to go home too. When I got home, I had to see about her. So, I was determined to try to get my strength back.
Yeah. Hey, and make it come out something in chat. Johnny E and James. I cook with red meat, but I use it a lot different now. Anytime I'm doing steaks, for example, or roast, things like that, I take it out. If I've got it in the freezer, I take it out, thaw it out in the fridge. But I try to get it closer to when I'm going to cook it. And what I do is I put it on a cookie sheet in a rack. I pat it all dry. I cover it decently in, believe it or not, salt. And all sides, top, bottom, etc. I cover it and then put it back in the fridge and let it set for 2 days. 2 days. And what that does is allows the salt to absorb down into the meat. If you let it sit out for like 30 minutes before you wrap it and put it up, you'll see the salt just start disappearing. But it absorbs into the meat and it breaks down the muscle tissue fibers a little bit, and where it's attached to the fat just a little bit, and it makes the meat a lot more tender, and it breaks it down a little bit, so it's actually a lot better. When you cook with it after doing that, you don't taste a lot of salt. It's not like cured ham or anything where you can just taste the salt oozing out of it. It's not like that at all. In fact, you can barely taste the salt unless you put like a 1/8 of an inch worth of salt on the thing, which you don't need to do. And it actually, it's a little bit better, and you can separate the fat from the meat after it's cooked a lot easier that way without losing a bunch of the meat. And I've just had a lot, I feel better after eating meat that's cooked that way as far as compared to before. I'd bought some steaks here recently that if I hadn't treated them that way before I cooked them, I don't think they'd have been good at all. And, certain foods after you eat it, you notice how you feel. And after I ate these, I didn't feel the same way I had in the past after eating the ribeyes. And I've gotten a whole new appreciation for red meat. I don't eat as much. I don't eat much at all, really, as far as the red meat. But I do treat it that way if it's solid meat, not ground hamburger or something. And I have noticed a difference in it since doing that. So, you may not have to give it up completely, but at least for me, it's worked. I do avoid pork as much as possible. I might eat it once every few months, but I do avoid pork as much as possible because I just that their meat, it just messes with me, so to speak. So I do avoid that one though.
I was surprised, but mine came out more stress related. I had for a short time, maybe about a year, I had high blood pressure, and I couldn't believe it because I wasn't a sodium person, but mine was mainly stress related, I think, and stuff. And I really got to working on my lifestyle, and I have not. And they put me on a water pill, and I'm not on nothing now. My blood pressure is always great. But another thing too, when my blood pressure was up, when I was doing better, was because I would go to the doctor right after going to the gym. So they had to check me before my appointment and after my appointment, because sometimes that runs your blood pressure up too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Doing a lot of activity right before time and stuff. So I start having to let them know that. But I've been, I don't have high blood pressure, knock on wood, anymore. I don't, I'm not diabetic or any of them, but you have to, like I said, like we were saying, you have to have a hard reset for your devices, and you got to take care of your devices. You got to take care of yourself first. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be here to be able to enjoy these devices that we talk about all the time anyway.
Yep. It's on the blood pressure. I feel you there. I've had actually high blood pressure since I was in my early 20s. And stress can impact it a lot. That's a majority of mine. I'm currently on a medicine for the rhythm of my heart, a blood thinner twice a day, high blood pressure medicine, and then they actually had me on one for cholesterol, which should be back down, and it was only like literally 2 or 3 points above what it should be. But they put me on that instead of like fish oil pills because the one he put me on has a blood thinner in it. Or I'm sorry, not a blood thinner, a beta blocker. So he did that because of my blood pressure. Now, with all that, my blood pressure still averages 140 over like 75. But if I take one aspirin a day with it, or one baby aspirin a day with it, then it drops all the way down to like 115, 116 over like 65 to 70. And my cardiologist took me off the baby aspirin, so it's shot back up. But yeah, stress does play a big part in it. And, you know, unfortunately, I'm one of them people that's resistant to a lot of medications.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason why I think I've been on like 5 different blood pressure medicines. None of them have dropped me below 140 for the top number. Without blood pressure medicine, my top number is 160 to 180. And it's supposed to be down like around 110.
Yes, I can understand that. Brooklyn, we are doing a show maybe next Friday, because I'm not sure if we're going to be able, or one day this week we just convene. If any of you guys like to come on, you, Brooklyn, the Rio, Southern Tech Girl, can be definitely you, Maldia, to talk about, you know, some stuff you may do for your lifestyle change, you know, even if it's not a complete lifestyle change, or what kind of healthy ways do you tweak your meals and stuff. I know we're talking about it today, but we're going to try to have a show dedicated to that, especially on this, right here, what happened with Ken, because that could happen to either one of us, you know.
I'm a fat country boy, so I can't say I eat too healthy.
Yeah, especially when you're in the country, it's hard. Because I remember I was telling them, and I may post a picture of me in Telegram. I'm not sure of how I looked a year ago. I mean, I probably put a hook through a Cheerio and stuff, and I couldn't eat food for nothing. And especially when I went down south, everybody said, "Oh, we're gonna fatten you up. We're gonna fatten you up." Every time I turned around, they was cooking that good Southern cooking. I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna eat my this. I'm gonna eat my that." Shoot. Sometimes you give in, and I was like, "Oh, this is so good."
Well, and the main thing is staying active too.
Yes, active. That's why I said active. When you first start moving is very big on your lifestyle change. Even if you have to do it in between commercials, you know, start with baby steps. When a commercial come on, okay, let me walk around the living room, or let me walk somewhere and back. You don't got to necessarily go to the fridge to get something to eat. You could walk in place, you know. Just do it during the commercials and build yourself up.
Well, see, that's the nice thing about that one site I posted, Dietary.com.
Mm-hmm.
They've got, you know, all kinds of workouts on there for people. They don't include, you know, using weights and stuff like that. But they even have ones you can do from an office chair or from the couch, things like that. So like during that commercial break, you don't even have to get up.
Right. You could use your chair. Yeah, you can use your couch and stuff. You could do a chair like this. I'm not gonna show completely, and just to go like this.
Yep. Yeah, there's
that
all
alone helps build up so much. You know?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, and that's the main thing to it that I was saying right before you came on, Ma, dear. It's more will in your brain than anything, because even when you see yourself losing weight or you see yourself progressing, your mind is not ready to accept that and stuff. And a lot of times people have depression with that, with the weight. It really depresses them, because even though you see different in them, it's hard for that to catch up for them to see it.
Yep. And just remember that if you do work out, start working out, you may see an immediate drop of so many few pounds, but then it may stop, and you may even see it come back on a little bit, come back on.
Yeah, reach a plateau.
Well, just remember, muscle is heavier than fat.
Right.
So based on your body, you'll reach a point where you'll continue to go down in size, but you're not going to notice any difference in weight, and that's why. Because your muscle is heavier than fat.
Yes. When I was working out a lot, and I'm gonna get back into it, I did weights 3 times a week, and that was my favorite exercise. Getting the weights and doing the weights, even when I go to the gym, I'm straight at the weight machine and stuff, because it does make you to me, made me feel better. I could rush through my adrenaline. You know, I would have my cardio day, maybe Monday, just to get my adrenaline rushing. Oh, and another thing, Zumba. I don't know if you guys remember Zumba, but Zumba is one of the funnest exercises you can do. You don't feel like you're exercising, you just feel like you're dancing, you know. And you guys are starting Plex, get a workout section. You know, if that helps, get a workout section. While you're collecting these movies, collect Beachbody, collect Zumba, even sweat to the oldies, just all that different stuff, you know.
No, I can't believe you just referenced Sweating to the Oldies.
I know. You know what? I just seen Sweating to the Oldies. My daughter and I bought it a year ago. We just watched it for the first time and we loved it. I know that he was kind of corny and stuff, but his exercises was, I can't even think of his name right now, but his exercises was fun. We just
he was
ran up on him
the
at the
best
pawn
wrestler
shop. We got one. My daughter was like, oh, let's try him. I was like, okay. I said, I don't know. And we really enjoyed it. His exercise is one of the best exercises we worked out to.
Richard Simmons was one of the greatest treasures of the workout video era or craze back in the day. He was a hoot. I mean, even if you didn't work out, just watching him would crack you up.
Yes, in fact, I would love to get. I'd love to get his whole collection and put it in my Plex because his exercises are fun to work out. You don't even feel like it. And the way he does his exercises, don't matter what size you are, what age you are, you can do his exercises. They're that much fun. And they make it so bad. My daughter, Zumba. Zumba is a lot of fun. Zumba, oh my goodness, the music with it, the workout with it is fun. Thank you, hater. But yeah. But yeah, it's all about, I like fish and turkey and things like that too. Like I said, keep snacks with you. Keep snacks with you. Eat like a king for breakfast, a prince for dinner, and a prince for lunch and a popper for dinner. But in between then, eat light snacks. Every couple of hours, because that keeps your metabolism going and everything. And that's a lot of times people think, oh, I only eat once a day. Why am I gaining weight? Because your body is starving. And everything you eat is going to turn into sugar, which is going to turn into fat because you're not hardly eating. And I try to tell people that all the time. You have to eat more in general. Smaller portions, though. You have to eat more in order to lose weight or in order to be healthy.
And for some people, they're like, oh, well, I can't stand smoothies. All right, because those are one thing that to get a great source or a great boost in the morning. Well, okay, that's fine. You don't like smoothies. Why? Well, like for me, yogurt makes me gag. It's just the way it is. And there's other things you can do that may not be as healthy, but help. You can make a shake that has the bananas in it. You'll find the right fruits that mix well, even with like ice cream, for example. Yes, it's not as healthy, but it's a hell of a lot healthier than stopping at McDonald's and eating that sausage and biscuit sandwich.
That's right.
And it's also going to give you more of a boost than something like that will. So there's always other things that can be done if you don't dive full in on it, or like you don't like certain foods. Find others you do. There's plenty of food out there in the world that is good for you that you can find to compare against others that you may not like. So it's just like with his streaming, it's doing the research.
Right, doing the research. And like she said, that's why they have cruises. And the one reason why they have cruises is because it kind of detox your body. If you're away from everybody and you're all doing the same thing, you're going to succeed. But within that, like I said, if you're at home, a lot of times it's hard if you don't have family support. So try to join a group. Try to join, whether it be Facebook, Telegram. Maybe we should form a group. I don't know. Since most of us do Telegram, and
well, and on the cruise, let's face it, you're going to have a lot less stress.
Exactly, because it's all about everything you're going to do is going to be fun. The only thing that might stress is your pockets if you spend too much money.
Oh, definitely.
Better than that, that is a good reason to have a cruise. And like I said, routines are very important too. Now, 1 second.
Saturday, I'll be hitting the road Saturday, and our vacation starts for a week. So I'll be gone for a week, and looking forward to it. Kind of anxious about it at the same time too, because I just don't do vacations.
Yes.
My stress
And
is
Miss-
so high.
Yes, we do want Ken to get well soon. We do want him to get well soon. Hey, Mr. Butler.
Good morning. How you guys doing? Sorry, there. I fell asleep in between
It's okay.
work and food, and
Well,
Food to do that
well,
to you.
yes. And on top of that, like you said, you need rest. That's the number one part of a lifestyle change is getting rest. Your body needs the hard set just like your devices. It needs that rest. So
What? Sleep, what's that?
yeah, right.
exactly. Sleep when you're dead, huh? I'll sleep when I'm dead.
That's it. That's it.
Yes, the first couple of pounds, lost is water and stuff. Yeah, try juicing. That's what word I was trying to think of earlier, Miss Carla Stevenson, when I showed this. Juicing I like juicing. I personally like juicing. Salmon, yes. Mixed salmons. I mean, different fish. This is one thing that I do, and this works well in my family. Sometimes it goes past Monday, but if you want to ease away from meat or you don't want to feel guilty about eating so much meat, have a meatless Monday. That's what we have in our house, meatless Mondays. We'll make a 15-bean soup. We'll make chili even without the meat,
That sucks. Vegetarian chili? No way.
Yeah, I've had that, or I've had chicken chili, and stuff on different days. But even with meatless Mondays, try your best not to eat meat that Monday. And then, say for example, you make a 15-bean soup and you don't put any meat in it. That leftover, put it in the freezer. And when you freeze it, put it in portions within the next 2 weeks. You can make a 15-bean soup in a crock pot, and that's enough to last you 3 weeks. That Monday, it depends on your family size. It's just Brooklyn and I right now. But, you have enough for leftovers. Yeah, the next 2 Mondays is covered.
Oh, you talking about as far as making up. Take your muffin tin out of the cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Get you some eggs. You can use egg whites, but I'm the type person, I like the yolk.
Me too.
So, scramble it up.
Mm-hmm.
Mix in some diced tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Mixed in some chopped spinach.
Mm-hmm.
And then put it in the muffin tin. Bake it in the oven.
20 minutes.
And you can heat them up, or you can make just enough for a few people for breakfast. But you can put them in the container, put them in the fridge, and heat them up either as a snack or for your part of your breakfast routine every other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you use egg whites, it's obviously healthier than with the yolk. But
flavors that though, man. Yolks for the flavors out.
Oh, exactly.
God.
And here's the thing.
It's all about baby steps.
We're talking about food now.
And here's the thing, you can add
steps.
stuff to it. I mean, you can add more to it. Like I said, you can put some diced tomatoes in it. You can put some spinach in it. And regardless of what you think, spinach doesn't have much of a taste unless you're eating the whole leaf.
Mm-hmm.
So if you dice it
I
up
love spinach
like
myself,
that,
though.
Absolutely.
yeah. So if you dice up your spinach or you blend it in with like a smoothie or a milkshake, stuff like that, you're not even really going to taste it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's a great source. I know some sites say don't get spinach. And no, it depends. It depends on your diet and what you're wanting out of it.
I never heard of. Why do they say don't get spinach? I've never heard of that before.
I think it's sites that just prefer other greens.
Oh, okay.
So much better for you, man. Iceberg lettuce doesn't even have any.
Right, when I before Subway made me so sick, the smell of Subway, I don't know why. Most of the time, I cannot go to a Subway. It's something about that smell that makes me so nauseated.
Well, another thing too, like Butler hinted on, there's a difference in the lettuces too, as far as what you get out of it health wise.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to, be including a lot of lettuce in your diet, or adding it, do your research on it to see which ones would be better for you.
Mm-hmm.
Iceberg, spinach, those are fast too.
Yep, they are.
Mm-hmm. And as you guys know, I love Shanti, so I love all his workouts. I love the P90X. Pardon me?
That want nothing to do with you, girl. You
I know he don't want nothing to do with me. I know. I know he want the same thing I want, but still, I love his workouts.
P90X.
The same thing I want.
Here we go.
P90X is code for painful death.
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah,
love P90X. I love it. But you know what? Start with his first one. The first one he had, which is, I can't think of it for nothing at the moment. Let me see. I'll look up Sharon T real quick.
Is it called Only a Little Death?
But he has a rock. It's called Rock something. I forgot. But I used to have all his workouts. I got some of them still. Julian Michaels has some great workouts. There's a lot of people that have great workouts.
She's from The Biggest Loser, right?
Yeah, she's from The Biggest Loser, but she has some great workout videos. I have her stuff as well.
Well, just for a shout out to Urban Kings, didn't Suzanne Summers have a workout video?
Oh yeah, she did.
Okay.
The only reason I say shout out to him is because Three's Company.
Oh yeah, come and knock at my door. Yeah, you're right. She did have and then you know what? She still is in very good shape. She's in very great shape.
Well, the best one out there of all of them, and I don't know if she did any videos like that or not, is Christy Brinkley.
Oh, yep. She had a good workout video as well.
She's in what now? Her mid-60s? I don't know.
She was on Dancing with the Stars until she broke her leg or something. Something happened. I can't remember. Hello, Tim. Also, this is oh no, nice. He says, can't say no to pork, high in sodium, but eat vegetables. Don't eat junk like candy. Drink pop. Yes, pop is my biggest weakness. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's what, to me, I'm blew up to me because I'm bigger than I ever been in forever.
Oh, and Christy Brinkley is 66, by the way.
Oh wow!
And still hot like she was in her 40s.
You betcha. Money will do that for you.
Yeah, it will.
I mean, not even money. I mean, you could be, you know.
You can get your things tightened up and, get your face done.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
That's the best you got money.
Like Suzanne Summers, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like, who was that one that was real big on it? Was it Phyllis? No, not Phyllis Diller.
But some people don't work for her, and no matter how much money they got, like Oprah. That one movie.
There was one actress. I don't know why I keep thinking Phyllis Diller, but it wasn't her. She's a loudmouth, kind of like Phyllis Diller was.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. That's exactly it.
That's it.
Oh yeah, her face is not so real.
Joan Rivers went through a lot of plastic surgery.
And you could tell immediately. And I said earlier, I said I had to put it up when we start talking on other things. I was telling people, because that's the first thing people think of when you become a diabetic. Oh, I got to drink diet this, I got to drink diet that. Aspartame is in all diet drinks. It's even in Splenda. If they say Splenda or what's the other sugar, Sweet and Low, stay away from it. Even stevia, because all of it has aspartame in it. Aspartame is made from feces. Yes, it's very disgusting. So when you're drinking that, you're drinking feces.
And just remember, when you're eating tilapia, you're eating feces because they swim in their own.
You're right. Oh.
Well, see, that's a whole nother thing too, because look at like I don't eat pork at all, but look at like catfish and all the bottom dwellers that we do eat. I mean, they're you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
And here are some of the side effects for aspartame: is anxiety, ADD, obesity, headaches, hypertension, tooth decay, diabetes, brain lesions, mood alternance, brain tumors, depression, arthritis.
You're depressing us right now. You're depressing us right now by talking about all those things that cause us. Listen.
This is from aspartame. I posted in our MS7 group. Bloating, brain cancer, chronic fatigue, chronic cough.
That sounds like a state
edema,
of California list.
Diarrhea, dizziness, flushing, heart palpitation, hair loss, hives, hypertension.
So, AKA anything negative that can happen to you health-wise.
Right.
Exactly. Those are the side effects of aspartame. So when you drink that diet pop, because you can't have that regular pop, you're doing even worse. Good morning, Next Level Tech.
Hey, Sharon, can you put the link back in the chat again for the stream?
Yes, yes, I
It's
sure
a shame they
can.
took cocaine out of Coke. I'm just saying.
Right, and that's why people are so addicted to Coke. But one thing about Coke, and this is what started me, I never was a big pop drinker, and I know in different places they call it different things. Down south is soda, in New Orleans it's cold drink, where we live is pop. Here's the link again for StreamYard.
I think
Anyone who want to get
that
on.
girl's gonna jump on and talk about food or something. I think.
Oh, great. Yeah. I told her this earlier. She could. She said she had a call. But yes, we love for her to come on. Like I was saying at the beginning of the show before both of you came. Our MS7 morning show is MS7 morning show, but it's on my platform. But within that, when we talk about certain things, unless we say it's a closed panel, anybody in the chat when I click the link in is welcome to get on.
That's right. That's how
Because we want everybody to feel like it's everybody, and stuff. A lot of you guys know more than I do on certain things. I'm just up here on the platform, but that don't make me any better, any smarter than anybody else. We may be talking about something like yesterday. We were talking about the enclosures and different things like that for your NASAs. And Mr. James was very knowledgeable about that. He'd been great to jump on the platform. It says, Kirsty Brinkley used to have a house in Connecticut. Okay. In the town where she lived. Okay, she saw Billy Joe and left, huh?
Hey, Mark, you forgot about Chrissy Brink. What's up, Southern Tech?
Hey, Southern Tech girl.
Hey, y'all. Hey, what's up?
That's our platform again, Miss Coupon Sister / Healthy Eating Lady.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
that's right.
Sharon,
We got to
did
do a
you get
coupon show.
that thing? I sent you something yesterday about Kohl's.
Okay. I definitely will look. Look. I wasn't already on Telegram yesterday.
Oh God, Coles, I have to keep my old lady off your channel.
85% off at Kohl's right now.
All right. You go get it.
We got the beach trip next week. She ain't shopping, so I'm lucky.
Hey, so Ken's getting out today, right? Right, Sharon?
He should be getting out today. But he still can't return to work before next week because they want him to stay home, which I told him already. They were going to make him stay home tomorrow. He's like, no, I'll be going back to work tomorrow. I said, no, you ain't hardly going back to work tomorrow. You're going to have a few days before they let you go back to work.
And he's like me. I was wanting the day I had my cardio version done. I was like, I can go to work after that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hell no. They're stopping and restarting your heart. You are not coming to work. I'm like, but I'll be fine. They're like, no.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, Southern Tech girl, what would you like to bring to it? Because I know you have a lot of knowledge and information on. And like I said, we'd love to do a show one day where there's mainly talking about this. I know we're talking about this today, and because of what's going on with Ken, it was a great day to talk about this today.
Right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I can talk about this a little bit because I have some firsthand experience in it. So my grandmother was diagnosed as diabetic probably like 15 years ago. And then she had a whole bunch of other illnesses that came after that, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, you name it, she had it. And then they diagnosed her with Alzheimer's. So shortly thereafter, she came to live with me, and I was like, okay, we're changing everything. We're changing everything you eat.
Mm-hmm.
We're changing your exercise routine. We're doing pretty much everything differently from here on out. So it took about 2 years, I guess, maybe 2 or 3 years of changing her diet and exercise. And she got completely off of all her medicine. She didn't have to take anything for cholesterol. She didn't have to take anything for diabetes. And that was probably the last 10 years of her life. She was off all of her medicine. So it's possible to not have to deal with that forever. You just have to make lifestyle changes, and you have to be consistent.
Definitely. Good morning, Serenity.
It's hard to make them changes though sometimes, boy.
And you know what? The cat never
to make
could.
the changes. It's hard to make the changes. I will agree. It's hard, but I mean, if you're looking at hospital stays, if you're looking at getting parts of your body cut off, heart attacks, because diabetes increases the risk of heart attacks. So if you're looking at all these other issues and it's just the difference between that and a hamburger, then you might just want to put the hamburger down.
Exactly.
So
that swine alone, trying to tell you.
There you go with the swine. Anyway, now I will say the only thing, you know, because I'm a little bit of a hard taskmaster, right? So I gave her a tough time. But the only thing I would let her cheat with was grits. She could have grits. I was like, you know what? We're in the South. I can't take grits away from you. That's just wrong. So, of course, she could have her grits every day. But yeah, you know, we had to switch out mashed potatoes for cauliflower mashed potatoes. We had to make some changes and get her back on the right track. And this was long before keto. There was no keto when we were doing this. There was no Pinterest either. It would have been nice if I had Pinterest back then, but we didn't have Pinterest back then. We didn't have keto. I think the only thing that was out back then was South Beach diet.
Right.
I've never been one that really went with them per se diet trends that they had, like doing the South Beach diet or doing the keto. I mostly researched and did the thing that worked for my house mostly, because a lot of times when you're just going, and this is just for me, this is not anybody else. A lot of times when you're just trying to follow that particular, the only one I ever tried to do was, and it slipped my mind. Atkins. Yes, you said the exact one.
It works.
It works. But to me, it's like taking being on what's that one with that woman Marie Osborne on there? It only lasts as long as you can afford it.
Well,
you know, so
you eat a lot of meat with that Atkins, though, man. I mean, you eat a lot of meat.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah, a lot of cholesterol too with them eggs.
Right.
Yeah. But even though the eggs bring cholesterol, it also and you know, last few times I went to the doctor, my cholesterol was so low. My cholesterol is great. But you know, even with that, you still have to do mostly what works for your household. Keto is not going to work for everybody. Keto works for some people. It's not going to work for everybody. It's just like these devices. You love your Shield. Everybody don't love the Shield. Somebody might love their 4K, TiVo 4K stick. So you guys got to work out what works for your house. And if you can help it, it's much easier, because I had a similar situation as yours, Southern Tech Girl. It was my mother-in-law lived with us. And well, I couldn't get her to get really an exercise because she was amputated, you know, but she was diabetic and everything. And, you know, we did have to give her insulin, but I changed her diet a lot too, you know, and it was like, either, you know, you want to eat this and live, or, you know, you're not going to be with us as long. So I understand what you mean on that, Southern Tech Girl.
And it really does help if you can cook. I'm going to just keep it real. If you can't cook, it really doesn't matter what kind of diet you try to do. It's all going to be trash. So it was a good thing that I was doing it for her, because honestly, I knew how to doctor up the food so she would still eat it, and she would enjoy eating it, and she wouldn't. Sometimes you have to trick people into eating healthy.
Exactly.
Right? If you're cooking with turkey and you do enough stuff to that turkey, they don't know it's turkey.
Exactly. I've done that with spaghetti so many times. Or my spaghetti squash at that.
So if you do it right and they don't really know what they're eating, they're like, oh, wow, this is good. And that's when you tell them the truth. Oh, well, you realize this is not real pasta. You realize that's not beef.
I don't even tell my daughter for the longest. I let her just really, like when I did the, like we were saying before, when I did the spaghetti squash, even with the cauliflower mashed potatoes, my daughter, first she knew she was just eating mashed potatoes. First she knew she was just eating spaghetti.
Texture difference.
No, I'm serious.
No, if you
know what you're doing,
enough, they cannot tell. They cannot tell.
If you really know what you're doing.
But the turkey, really I don't care how much you doctor it up. My ex-mother-in-law, well, you know, my mother-in-law, she did not like turkey, and she did not like chicken. So, and she never did. So she'd rather not eat meat. Okay, well, we just won't have meat, you know, because she did not like turkey and chicken.
It's like you said, though, Sharon, you know, I've been on multiple diets too, as a support system, but Anyway, it is expensive to be healthy. It can be.
It can be, but you can make it inexpensive too.
Right.
Like actually, we're saying earlier, Aldi's is a great place.
If you're a person that can't cook, marry somebody who is.
You too. You too.
But yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that you can learn if you really put yourself to something. You can learn. And everybody, I'm gonna say this personally for myself. I made sure that my children could cook. I even have my daughter in the kitchen sometimes helping me. Because start them young as they are with cooking. Because there's no guarantee when you move out on your own. And this goes for all the men in the chat. There's no guarantee you're gonna move out and have a wife when you move out and stuff. So you need to learn how to cook for survival, if nothing else.
And
boil a hot dog and boil an egg.
Yeah, and ramen noodles do not count as cooking.
Exactly. Ramen noodles, you're gonna get that. You're gonna go gorged out on that before you know it.
Okay, I can cook some ramen noodles now. Put some vegetables in there, throw some egg in there. Oh man.
Oh yeah, you can
ramen
add
noodles
stuff
is
to
bad
it.
for you.
Some little packets that come with them.
That's the problem, is to leave those packets out, all that damn sodium.
I never liked ramen noodles.
I don't either. I can't stand the smell of them.
Never liked them.
Being a bachelor for a long time, Butler, I mean, come on, you feel me on this.
Now, of course.
Being a bachelor, you learn to like ramen noodles.
That's a poor man's spaghetti. Talking about.
That's right. It's a poor man in everything.
10 for $1. Can't beat that.
Nah, man, I have to pass on that.
Me too. The last time I tried to eat ramen noodles, I physically got sick. And food has never been and I guess that's why it's easier for me to lifestyle change, as I call it. Like I said, I don't use the word diet because the first 3 words in diet is die. And I'm not dying to live. I'm trying to live. I'm not trying to die. So that's why I keep using the word.
That's why I own a grill.
I saw a YouTube video where somebody took ramen noodles and repaired their sink with it or something.
Exactly.
And I was like,
I see somebody build a chair out of ramen noodles. Build a chair out of ramen noodles. Well, you can do that with it. I don't know. I question that food.
That's not right.
Well, if your food also are the initials for stuff posing as meat, then you might want to be careful of it too.
Just eat the damn meat if you're gonna do all that.
That's the reason.
No, man, I can't with the
bacon. And another good thing to do is, like I said, you want to learn how to cook, fire your restaurant for 30 days. I did that, and we can do that, Chad. You can. You fire your restaurant for 30 days, you don't have no choice but to cook because you're not gonna find nothing from the restaurant.
Yep.
When you get a craving for a pizza. Another thing that inspire you. I know this is a NutriBullet, but make this like a jar. Put that money in the jar. Okay, I want some pizza today. Let me put this in there. Look how much money you be done saved up.
Oh yeah, and
how much it adds out to, and use that money for something else. The movies.
Can I say something? So I did the math on how much I spend at IHOP a week. At 5 years, it's like $150.
Yep.
But if you cook that food,
breakfast. Oh no.
And you don't know what they put in that food.
Yeah, I'm not down.
You don't know what they season it with.
You don't even know if they're back there washing their hands properly and stuff. I can't deal. But and I'm too cheap. I'm too cheap for all of that. So I cook here at the house, and I'm teaching my kids how to cook. So that way, when I don't feel like getting up, they can cook for themselves.
Exactly.
My youngest, my twins are 10. So they're learning how to cook. They know how to make a lot. They know how to make pancakes from scratch. They can make grits, eggs, bacon, sausage. They know how to make French toast. They know how to make grilled cheese. And I just taught them how to peel potatoes with a real knife, not with a peeler. And I'm showing them how to make home fries. I mean, I want them to know how to do things and take care of themselves. You know, I learned in elementary school how to cook. So
they took that out. That's what's wrong with schools now. They took stuff like that out of school.
Yep, they took basic stuff out.
Home economics.
Home economics. That helped a lot of people.
Took home economics.
Home ec was one of the best classes ever in high school.
I feel like this pandemic was, as far as schooling wise, it was a blessing. And some people may feel like it was a curse. But because I've been wanting to homeschool my daughter for a while.
Look what it did to the environment.
India. It helped cleaned it up some.
Yeah, look at India. For the first time in decades, they could see farther than like so many meters. for the first time in decades, because the air cleaned up so much in India just from the first few weeks. I mean, and it's not just places like India. I mean, LA, places all over the US, it's even like that. But they're already starting to see it come back bad. Like in LA. There's
Florida too.
Yeah, there's a podcast I watch every week, Christopher Titus podcast on YouTube. He's a comedian and everything, but everything he has on his show, it's real. And freaking love him. He's got a lot of the same views I do and same sense of humor I got. And this past week he was talking about in LA, you can start to see the brown returning to the air now. And I mean, that it's a wake up call on a lot of levels. And we had the lockdown, and then now that it's coming out, people can physically see that difference. And if you pay attention, you're going to see it. Even if you live out in the country, because you're going to travel to the city some for work and things like that, pay attention. You're going to see that difference, and it's going to hit you.
Yes.
I think the environment just needed a break. You know what I mean? The environment needed a break. So.
Oh yeah. Well,
but they're trying to mess it back up right away.
Yeah, and Mother Nature's still fighting back because it now that it's got a whiff of this clean, too. There's swarms of locusts worldwide that's starting to hit everywhere, and we're talking about swarms that haven't been seen in a very, very long time. Which I got Storm going on that last night. She's all plague. Oh
yeah. Oh God, don't get her started.
I know.
I sent her a link where it's talking about the locust swarms that are more devastating to the economy than the coronavirus has been in like 3 different countries so far. So she's flipping out now. So.
You get her started.
Yeah, she will flip out on stuff like that. But yeah,
she's been saying there's gonna be a locust plague this year since like January.
Well, we have a fly problem going on down south. It's kind of crazy. I mean, flies
I've noticed that
everywhere.
Yep, and it honestly, it's because the environment's better right now. You're going to see a lot of the pests start showing up because the environment is actually a little bit healthier right now.
They could go away.
Yeah, that's right.
Without them, I mean, I'm okay with no flies, but
me too.
I don't really even know what purpose they serve. I would need someone to do the science and explain to me what are flies contributing to the environment.
I heard a long time ago, but I forgot. But they do contribute something to our environment.
They're just like a lot of the other small insects. They eat the buildup of stuff rather than it sitting around to decay. Naturally, they help eat the buildup of that stuff.
Just like
everything here has a purpose.
Yep.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Now, I will say ladybugs, I love how they look. I think they're the cutest little thing.
They're annoying.
But they are eating up my garden, and it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad.
Now, I can tell you as far as around your house, outside, like around decks and all that, plant lavender and lemongrass. If you're on a deck, you can put them in pots, and I'm talking big pots because they're big plants. You can mix them in the same pot, and those deter a lot of mosquitoes and other bugs, insects like that you don't want around you when you're out there on your deck and all. So rather than burning them tiki torches and inhaling that smoke, stuff like that, you can plant a lot of pots of the lemongrass and lavender plants. And that'll help keep them away as well. And they're pleasant to look at and don't have that harsh smoke.
You know, they have citronella plants too, right, Mark?
Yeah, I love the citronella. I get citronella cutouts every time this year around because bugs hate the citronella. The smell of citronella.
Unfortunately, Butler, you and me, one plant everywhere, that works. Women aren't like that. They like to have a mix. So.
Yes.
Back to the ramen noodle part.
Terrible. Don't eat ramen noodles. Don't do it.
Yes, they're the pits.
Yeah.
And then, like with me, I'm glad my body rejects a lot of things. Like I can barely eat leftovers of meat. Like I
Oh,
said
I
in the
love
beginning of the
leftovers.
show, meat it makes me sick. I can't even, like I said, even when I go to the fast food, that's why it's even easier now for me to fire my restaurant. I can't even eat. Like I go to McDonald's, I can't even eat a half of a McDonald's burger. I would get so sick. I'll be praying to porcelain God.
Well,
You know
that's
that
a
those
blessing
things
there.
are not real meat
That's right.
anyway.
We do know it's
You
not
can
real
stick
meat.
that in your pocket, and like 3 weeks later, it looks exactly the same.
Exactly.
See, that's a lot. That's why I like Wendy's because it'll
That's what I was
rot.
about to say. You better go to Wendy's. Get that
Yep.
real
Better
stuff.
not go to none of them.
I
Better
ain't going
cook
to
at
Wendy's.
home. Get your
Right.
own thing and cook at home.
I'm
Learn
not
to-
Sharon. Cook
And
at
here's
home.
the thing too. I
Mhm.
buy, as far since we're talking about the burgers and all. Sometimes I go on the El Cheapo and there's this certain brand here locally of hamburger patties,
Okay.
and I pre-made. I buy them. Usually anything pre-made, I'll tell you right off, it is the worst thing you can buy of that type. And I'm not buying them because they're healthier, because I'm lazy, and if you're going to do burgers, it's the only cheap way right now to do hamburger meat, or cheaper. And the ones I buy, because they don't have a lot of fat content in them or anything else, they're actually just kind of bland. They don't have much of anything in them. And what you were talking about earlier, seasoning, stuff like that. I use a bunch of seasoning on it. I use fresh minced garlic that I'm pressing right then and there, and everything else to season it up, which I do with a lot of foods, which is a big thing. Nice thing about garlic is, this is what I was kind of leading to because we talked about the hamburgers. Garlic on burgers is great. I love it. But garlic is also great for your immune system.
You're healthy. I was about to say that.
Yep. Garlic is actually very healthy. Just don't mix it with the wrong stuff, like a lot of salt content, things like that. But garlic can make a lot of things a lot better.
Smells good too.
Yeah, garlic is amazing. And I mean, some things you can do too is when you go to the grocery store, you can actually ask the butcher to cut the meat the way you want it cut. You can get a big piece of meat that's actually cheaper than trying to buy it already cut up and processed in all these different ways. You can just say, I want this big slab and I want you to make this cube steak. I want you to make this, some type of rib, and I want this, and this. And you can get it all cut for you right there and save money.
Yep. And now I'm still looking to see if I can find an alternate to the salt, and I don't think I will, but I am looking.
Mrs. Dash, right? Yeah, Mrs. Dash.
Flavor God. No,
Well,
Flavor God, man.
I mean,
That's
as far as for the treatment that I use on the meat now, to help break down the muscle fiber and all a little bit.
Not vinegar, right?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm still looking into it. I got my salt treatment I do for 48 hours. That really pre-breaks it down, the fibers and everything.
So what are you doing, like a brine?
Well, it's similar, but what I do is I coat the whole piece of meat in a very thin layer of salt after patting it dry, and I put it on a rack, and I put that on a cookie sheet and cover it and put it in the refrigerator for 48 hours. The salt absorbs into the meat and it breaks down part of the muscle fiber. So by doing that, it makes it a lot more tender, and in turn, your body can digest it a lot easier.
And what about meat tenderizer? Is that mostly sodium?
Most meat tenderizers I've looked at have a lot of other stuff in them that may not be as make it any better. When you're looking at that, then you're looking at, it also has items in it for seasoning. Mm-hmm. So that's where that comes in. But with the salt, it breaks it down, makes it easier to digest, easier to pull away from the fat. And hence, you always leave the fat on when you cook meat just because it adds to the flavor. But with this, I mean, you can have, unless you overcook it naturally, your meat, like you can have a ribeye that literally by hand pulls apart.
Ribeye.
Because it's so tender.
Yes.
And anywhere that there's there's the thicker fat in it that's not good for you, you're going to know it, because the way the meat comes apart, it kind of isolates that fat. You're going to see it. It's going to stick to it more, where the rest of the meat just comes right off. So it helps. At the same time, not only is better for you, you don't taste, even doing that, you don't taste salt in it, or a lot of salt. It's very minute to flavor. And it helps you be a little bit more conscious about eating it. For the first time in my life, when I did that, for the first time in my life, I didn't eat the fat that was on the steak. And I'm one of the type of people, because of my father, I would eat all the fat after the steak. And if the old lady had some fat on her plate, I took it off and ate it. Because my father, that's the way he was.
Waste on that meat.
Yeah, I mean, my father would my mother would cook it with the fat, then she would trim all the excess fat off before she put it on the kitchen table. And my father later that night would go back, throw all that fat in a skillet, heat it up, put it on bread, and eat it.
Damn.
Yeah. And he lived to be in his 70s. I'm just saying.
There was a thing my grandma used to do. Well, a couple things. For tenderizing meat, when she didn't want to use salt, she would use baking soda. And she would like rub it and stuff in baking soda, and then put it in water. I have no idea what that does. Don't ask me the science of it, but I remember her doing that when she didn't use salt. And then the other thing she would do was use fruit juice, like from a fresh fruit though, not from a can or anything.
And
so maybe
acidic.
Yep. So I think you can maybe look that up and see if you can use any of that. But it was always fruits like mangoes and kiwis and stuff, things like that.
Yeah, so ones that have a little bit higher acidic content in them. Yeah, there's probably all kinds of ways to do it. We just, like I said, I just need to look more into it.
It's just about raw research.
And salt. When you look at it, you're like, oh God, if I was eating that, it would taste horrible. As far as when I put that on the meat, but it soaks into it and it spreads throughout. So when you end up eating it, you taste almost none of it. Which for me, I use the salt that's in recipes, and I used to, be heavy on the salt, but now outside of what's in a recipe, I don't really use extra salt at all, hardly.
Me either.
Me neither.
And when I do, I've got a Celtic sea salt that I use that's freaking phenomenal for flavor, and it takes almost none of it to get the flavor, which is what I love about it.
Where do you get it from? Where do you get your Celtic sea salt from?
I actually order it off of Amazon.
Okay.
There's a specific one I get off of there. When you get it, it's still moist, and everything else. And then of course I put it in my grinder, and I got my grinder set to fine. And like I said, the nice thing about it is it takes very, very, very little to get good flavor off of it when you're putting it on top of food. This one. Now, this is also the same salt that I used to put on my steaks and roast and everything when I do that cure in the fridge to help break down the meat. So you got to think, when I say I'm putting a layer of salt on it, it's out of a grinder. So, that ends up being whiter, maybe thinner, but it ends up being whiter than your regular salt granules. So
I can use sea salt.
Yeah. And so when I'm doing it out of the grinder, it actually puts less on it than what it looks like because of mine being the more fine grind. So in turn, a little bit healthier, I guess, even though salt's involved. And, but yeah, that Celtic sea salt is freaking phenomenal.
Oh yeah. I might have to try that.
Salt too.
Himalayan is good too. I like sea salt and Himalayan salt. Also, I wanted to say, before I forgot while I was thinking about it, I know a lot of people say, I'm going to start my lifestyle change Monday. I'm going to start it Wednesday. You can start it that same day. Even if you got up that morning and ate bad, now is the time. If you feel like you need to start it right now. Because when you put off tomorrow, next week, then something come up Monday, okay, well, I slipped. I'm just going to wait till next Monday. And then you find yourself finding excuses to put it off on it. I remember one time when I did my lifestyle change. Usually actually do it every time. I go and clean out my cabinets. and stuff. And anything that I feel like is gonna, not healthy for me or whatever, I'm getting rid of it. When I decide to do my deep detox, that week that I'm doing my detox, because I have a lot of times, because I felt for my body, have went on a couple of days of liquid diet to detox my body. Within that, I would take my Miralax and my ladies, stuff that clean you, ladies laxative or whatever. And within them couple of days, I'm doing nothing but drinking my broth, my chicken broth, low sodium, drinking water, drinking tea. I always drink my green tea plain anyway. Drinking black coffee, anything. I'm just staying on my liquid diet, and you'll be surprised, how you don't get hungry. As a matter of fact, the longer you're on it, which I never do go past 3 days, the longer you're on it, the more you don't even have a taste for food. It's like, then it's back then it's like when you start back eating, and you will drop a lot of weight. So that's why when you go back to eating it, you got to do small things like maybe cream of wheat, cauliflower mashed potatoes. You got to slowly get back into food, because if you go back to thinking you're going to eat a hamburger that next day, you're going to be sick as a dog.
Hey, Russell had a question. Does it matter what kind of salt and how?
Yeah, I had clicked off of it because when he said Celtic salt, I thought that answered the question. But you go here, I click on it. Yeah. Oh yeah, how much you use? I'm sorry, I just missed that part.
So Sharon, I shared the link in the YouTube chat for the Celtic sea salt brand that I use.
Okay.
I'd have to look at my bag to see if it's the fine ground that I bought and put in my grinder or not. But that's the brand that I use. And for me, it lasts me a long, long time just because of how little I use out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can buy.
So I will say this about salt. It's good to use all these different types of salt, but you need to make sure you're getting iodine in your diet some kind of way, because there's bad things that can happen to you if you have a iodine deficiency. So you still need to get it from food if you're not getting it from salt, because all these different salts don't have iodine in them. So you just have to be careful when using all these different Himalayan salts and sea salts and all these things. They probably don't have any iodine in them at all. So you need to get it from your food. So you need to make sure you're getting it from somewhere.
Take a pill.
Another breakfast thing, I click on my camera for a second, that I use, which I'm drinking this morning as my breakfast, is I keep these.
Yeah, from Sam's Club and
Yes. I went and got some yesterday. I keep them because my body doesn't make as much protein. So you're on the go, you don't have time to eat. I like this room temperature. I like it cold. Either way I can get it. This is a meal.
Sharon, those things are delicious. But
I
my
love
kids
them.
think there's some kind of,
my daughter
they think there's some kind of little chocolate, milk or something. And if I buy them, they're like, oh, look, mommy bought chocolate milk. Let's drink it all. No.
But you got to be careful letting them drink it because it's too much protein for them. I found that out with my daughter when I went to the doctor.
Right.
They said, do not give them. Like my daughter, she's 8. She would drink these if I let her. I let her drink some of it. Like I pour a little bit in her cup, but it's too much protein for a child.
Now, also, don't go overboard, because the average adult can only absorb 20 grams of protein in a setting. And like if you get them protein mixes that are supposed to be 20 grams in a mix, it's pointless and it's a waste of money because you can only absorb 14, and that's for an athlete.
Right. And I don't drink more than one of these a day anyway. When I do drink these, and I don't drink them every day, but I'm supposed to drink them every day. But
Yep, and like most athletes are on like 100-gram protein a day diet. That's for an athlete. So bear that in mind. If you're on a diet plan that tells you got to have 100 or plus in protein a day, they're not telling you right, because an athlete only does 100 a day.
Yeah, but your body will get rid of what it does.
Hey, Troop, you gotta fight those squirrels, man.
Yeah, squirrels gotta be healthy too.
Hey, squirrel's good meat. I'm just saying.
You know what? I'm not even gonna tell my squirrel story. I'm not doing it. But but we do have a rule in my city. People were shooting squirrels in their backyards with, you know, all types of guns, very powerful guns, might I add. I mean, it's the South, right? So you would just wake up in the morning and just hear boom, boom, boom. All these squirrels are getting shot in somebody's backyard. So they passed a ruling, like 5 years ago, where it's illegal for you to shoot a squirrel now with pretty much anything other than a BB gun at this point, which has made the squirrel population boom.
All right.
And I hate it.
I have to point this out.
Like possum, don't worry about possums too when I live down south. That's food right there. I
have to point this out. I live in West by God, Virginia. And in city limits, most cities have an ordinance. It's illegal to shoot any firearm within city limits. Now you're in the South. They're like, "Oh, you can shoot firearms. We just don't want you shooting them at squirrels."
Right.
That's exactly how they do in the South.
That's how we roll down here, and it's upsetting to me.
What state do you stay in?
I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, okay, I was in Alabama. I know it's down south.
Yeah, I'm upset about it because when I was growing up, I used to shoot squirrels.
Well, now, you say down in the South, you're not much further south than I am.
I'm far enough, though. So, I mean, you know, you can conceal and carry here. I mean, we do guns. We do guns here. I have guns.
Oh, yeah. They did away with our concealed carry permits here. You don't have to have a permit anymore here.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Maryland ain't doing that.
Yeah, it's West Virginia. We love our guns.
West Virginia. Oh, no wonder. Yeah, West Virginia. I can understand. Y'all like making like liquor and stuff in the woods and the mountains and all.
Anytime you see a reality show that's based in West Virginia, let me just say it's fake, because I know people that have been on some of them, and they tell them what to say and do based on what reaction they think they'll get from the people that watch it at home.
No, don't tell me that. No, you're messing up what I thought West Virginia was like. I just knew you guys were in the mountains with a whole batch of corn making moonshine.
Well, we do that.
That killed me quick.
We do that. I'm talking about what was that? There was one. It was a bunch of younger kids. That was, they did all this crazy, I call it crackhead stuff, because only crackheads would do it. Just crazy stuff. And it was mostly scripted. Most of the kids, because of that show, ended up on hardcore drugs and everything else. There's several of them that are no longer with us.
Wow.
Because of drug overdoses and everything else. Just because of what the show did to them.
That's terrible.
I mean,
what show was this? Sorry.
I can't remember the name of it. It was on the air about 10 years ago, or not 10 years ago, about 8 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that.
Probably the same way they did with 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, I mean, a lot, and it's not just West Virginia, honestly. A lot of reality shows do that to people, as far as, they script it.
Scripted, yeah, most of them.
I mean, most of them are scripted, but man, some of those scripts are really, really good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But some of them just try to see, they thought, it's West Virginia. We can go hardcore with this and take it way over the top. And that's what they did. There's some, about like the Mountain Men and everything else that I've seen that are pretty damn close to accurate for here.
So, I mean, honestly, I can't say that I know a lot about West Virginia besides what I've seen on TV. So, and I'm sure it's not accurate, but I always thought, wow, they got a lot of land up there. They can just kind of run around and do stuff. I mean, and now you're telling me you don't even have to have that license anymore. Of course, here we have to have the license. So.
Well, let me tell you another recent law change. Deer can be sold in grocery stores now. Deer meat.
You better stop. Are you for real?
Front door. Shut the front door.
Venison steak.
Yes. Now it has to be farmed. It can't be wild. And there's, I think, 2 grocery stores currently that carry it. But yeah, you can get venison in West Virginia now at the grocery stores. Most of them are, I believe, up around Huntington that carry it.
That's nice. That is nice.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we don't have that. But now, if you go to the coastal parts of South Carolina, you can get gator, shark.
Oh,
you can get all of that kind of stuff. Shark is delicious.
It is.
If you have not had a shark steak, you are missing out.
Oh yeah.
The gator's good too, though.
I've never had shark steak, but I have had gator.
Rattlesnake is really, really
I've had
good.
turtle. I've had rattlesnake.
I've never had rattlesnake.
Tastes a lot like chicken, as bad as it
A
smells.
lot of them smell like chicken. A lot of them do.
Yeah, your rattlesnake
Everything
does taste a lot
chicken.
like chicken. It'll remind you a lot like it.
Yeah, I've never had any kind of snake. I've had frog legs.
Ooh, love me some frog legs.
Chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Frog legs had to grow on me because it tastes swampy the first, I think, 2 times I had it. I felt like I could taste like, crocodile piss or something. I'm like, it just tastes like the straight up swamp. And I was like, I don't think this is delicious, and I'm wondering why everybody's eating this. And they're like, oh, whoever cooked it didn't do right. You got to try it again. Again. So there I was trying it again and again, and I finally found some different. And
break it up.
And I don't know what batter they use.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, did you walk in another room? Jeffro says that snake is lean.
Yeah, it is. That's part of the reason it tastes so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he also says that deer sausage is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, deer summer sausage, venison summer sausage is the best.
Oh, we've had so much deer sausage. It's been unreal.
I mean, I love summer sausage
in
general, but you take venison summer sausage, and I'll sit there with a knife and just break it off eating it.
Yeah, a lot of it, like he said, like Russell Dye said, a lot of it does taste like chicken. Depends on how you cook it, I do mostly taste like chicken. And probably because people have chicken the most, that's why everything is compared to chicken.
Well, about the only thing that don't taste like chicken anymore is the chicken.
Exactly.
And that's because all the steroids and everything else they pump it in to make it grow faster.
Mm-hmm.
When I was much, much younger, I spent some time working for Hudson Foods, which was bought out by Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
And I started out on the cruise to go out at night and catch the chickens. I eventually ended up in maintenance, which was my goal. But
I worked at a chicken plant before too.
and I was on the cruise and went out and caught them. I probably took 10 years off my life doing that work because of what they do to their bodies just to be able to stay up to do it. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing, you haven't experienced anything as far as for adrenaline till you're going through a chicken house, catching chickens as they're starting to wake up because it's starting to get light. And you walk up on a chicken that comes up to your waist.
Wow. That's a giant chicken. That's a rooster.
Yeah. And you got to think all these chickens are about the same size because they're all getting the same drugs more or less pumped into their eggs and everything else at the hatcheries. So they're all about the same size, but then you walk up to one that for whatever reason got more or something. And it's like literally 2 to 3 times the size of all the other chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And when you grab them, they wake up faster than the others, and you do not want to have to deal with one of them when that happens. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Russell died.
You said God Russell died?
No, not Russell died.
Okay, Aaron 76 had a question for
yeah, 76. That's what I meant.
Yeah, Mothman prophecy. Yeah, that's all. We got a statue in West Virginia for him. Yeah, there's been no solid proof given he ever even existed, let alone any of the prophecy stuff. But yeah, it's a big folklore thing here. Mothman prophecies, and they got the town where it's all based at. They got a big statue of him, and everything else. It's a big folklore thing to help with the tourists around here for sure.
About like Bigfoot?
Kind of.
Yes. The fish tacos are good. And chicken tacos.
If you've never watched any of the movies based on the Mothman prophecies, you might want to watch them. They're interesting, but they make you think, what the hell?
You're like, people really believe this?
Pretty much.
Point Pleasant, Maud, is that in West Virginia somewhere?
Yeah, it's not too far from where I live.
Okay. Okay. I might have to check it out then.
I am too. Now you're gonna make me interested to find out about Mothman prophecies.
That's it.
Let me write that down. But like I said, everything begins with you. If you take care of yourself, you know, not only will you live longer, it'll ease you off a lot of medicines, you know. And we only could do so much, you know. Definitely helps to have a support system. Definitely helps. That helps a lot. And if you can't find a support system within your home, reach out to a group, reach out to a community, you know. Find a friend that calls and say, hey, because there's a lot of times everybody, that willpower gets hard, you know. And you feel like falling off the wagon. But if you have somebody that's pushing you, say, come on, we can do it. We can do it. Look, I'm not having that today either. Let's just, you know, have a salad. And, you know, salads are great, but you need to know how to cook all the other foods because you're going to get tired of salad quick.
Hey, you ever heard of
it's easy to try with salads. I mean, salads are wonderful, and I love making salads, but you got to really expand out. And Sharon, you're right about Pinterest. Pinterest is a great place to go for recipes.
Hey, Maud, Octavia said, what about the bridge?
What bridge? He's about River Gorge. River Gorge is pretty much like the most known bridge in West Virginia. It's like freaking, I don't know how many thousands of feet long. It's a big tourist spot.
Kind of like the Huey P. Long Bridge in Louisiana. That's a really long bridge. I went across that bridge during a hurricane. You talking about scared? Nothing but water under you. During Hurricane Isaac, right before Hurricane Katrina, and we were trying to evacuate, leaving from New Orleans, trying to get to Baton Rouge, and that was the scariest thing.
That's right.
Yeah, but we're gonna get ready to wind down. Does anybody else have any more questions or have any more comments before we do wind down? I'll give you a couple.
Next time we can talk about gumbo.
Oh yeah, you can talk about it while we're giving them time to put questions. You can tell us a little bit about gumbo.
I love gumbo.
I do too.
I love jambalaya.
Me too. From living in New Orleans, that's when I got introduced to them. Good morning, Paper Plate fan. Oh, I love jambalaya. I love gumbo. Oh my goodness, I love shrimp po' boy.
Yes.
Goulash.
All of us, yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yeah, I like chicken bog. That's something we eat here.
Yeah, it doesn't, when it comes to fish, doesn't matter how you fit, how what type it is for the most part, but how you cook it and season it. Of course, like I said, tilapia, avoid at all costs. It's a farm fish, and they don't clean the tanks they're in at all.
Oh wow.
Or if they do, it's very rare.
Tilapia is cheap. Super cheap.
Yeah, and that's why it's cheap.
But yeah, it's cheap for a reason.
Yeah, it's cheap because they swim in their own muck. Let's put it that way. I'll keep it clean.
But I like the aspartame. The aspartame is not cheap on some of them. Stay away from the aspartame.
Yep, and salmon. Oh, love salmon. And the nice thing about salmon is you can do so many things with it.
Salmon and eggs.
Oh yeah, you can get it bone in or deboned, but if you do debone, get you 2 cans of it. Take the skin out.
Hold on, you say canned fish, but that turned me off right there, man.
Well, hold on. You drain the juice, take the skin out, both cans, and then take an entire sleeve of crackers, salt free, and 1 egg. Crumble up the cracker, mix it all together, and then just fry it in a skillet with your choice of butter, avocado oil, just whatever you want to use. I don't recommend butter; it changes the flavor of it. But when you're mixing it, put the juice back in it because that adds the flavor back in with it, and just fry them up in a skillet.
Aaron.
You don't have to add salt. Like I said, use salt-free saltines, and all that. I love them personally. I grew up on them.
I love salmon patties. And like Jeffrey said, that blackened salmon.
Yep. Now, and if you want some different flavoring, I tell you what, I make a sausage rotel dip a lot, and I always double the recipe. The last time I made it, instead of getting the regular rotel diced tomatoes with green chili peppers, I seen for the first time, or the other times I just ignored it, that they have a fire roasted version of rotel brand diced tomatoes with green chili peppers, and I use that in my dip instead. And I tell you what, it made it a lot better.
Listen, I need to come to your house, but
I know we always say that we need to go to that cabin. You talking about the cabin? We need to take a tech trip, the cabin near Maldives. Have him and get all the food. Let him host the catering.
yes.
We'll chip in and help cook too. But,
listen, I don't even like salmon. So, and you sitting here describing this, it's really making me feel like I'm missing something. Now,
it's good now, I'm telling you.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me take that back. I'm weird when it comes to salmon, y'all, for real. I will eat it in sushi, and that is it. That is it. If it's in sushi, I'm good. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It might be a mental thing. But just to sit down and just eat like actual salmon, I don't do it. I don't eat catfish.
Nope.
It looks funny. I don't like how it looks. And it's got this big wide mouth and whiskers. And I'm like, why does a fish have whiskers? It just trips me out. I'm not into it. So I can't do catfish. I don't do salmon. I eat pretty much every other fish, even gar, even fish that looks kind of scary. I eat, but I don't do those two. I don't do those two things. But see, the way you're describing it, right, and the way you're talking about cooking it is making me a little intrigued right now. Like maybe I need to, come to West Virginia and I can bring my guns. We can go shooting. We can make some moonshine for Mr. Butler. I don't drink, but it sounds like you got it going on over there.
I think he walked away because I think it's muted.
Yo, so he lives in the cabin, y'all? In the actual
cabin? He's going to. No, he don't live in a cabin. He said he's going on vacation. I think he's going to a cabin for vacation.
Oh,
I don't think he lives in a cabin. That's why I said we can go on a vacation to one of the cabins and have him do the catering. We just chip the money in for our trip and him to do the food, be the main host. We'll help with the size, whatever and stuff.
Right.
And that sounds like that will be a good time. Actually, he needs to do a YouTube channel. If he don't want to do one on, because I know he can't do Jody, do one on cooking. I would definitely subscribe. I'll be practicing no recipes.
I would love that.
I did. Exactly. Put a one in the chat if you guys think that Maldives should start a cooking channel.
Yeah, put the ones in there for me.
Let me spam it. Yeah. I definitely would subscribe to him. I had that bell notification. Yeah, I think you should start. You start a cooking channel. Oh my goodness!
Oh, let me tell you something. Joking around, I told the old lady about hey y'all been giving me crap about doing a cookbook. And she goes, well, we got plenty of recipes.
Exactly, do it and shoot. You know how big, nice size this community is. I definitely would get your
I
cookbook.
support it.
I would get it.
Yeah, and of course, she's the one from West Virginia. I'm from Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, even though it's only a few states over, there's a world of difference between her recipes and mine.
Mm-hmm.
And she's learned she likes Indiana food because I've made my meatloaf, and now it's become a requested item in our house.
Oh, I love meatloaf. Meatloaf is fantastic.
Can you post some of the pictures of your food you be
I
cooking?
can cook a whole meatloaf in 25 to 30 minutes. You know how?
How?
I make meatloaf bombs by putting them in muffin tins.
Oh,
yeah, I've done that before. Yeah.
I've done that too.
Yeah, just make sure you put that muffin tin on a cookie sheet to catch the grease.
Right.
But,
I think we have some things in common with our cooking and stuff. Now, I don't write recipes down, which
I go a lot by mine, but I still write it down sometimes for my children.
I don't write them down. No one in my family, my grandmother, her grandmother, no one ever wrote anything down. You just tell it to the next person.
Yeah.
And when I'm teaching my kids, they get so frustrated with me because I'll say, just put a dab of this or a pinch of that. Or
well, in certain things you just
sprinkle it on there.
Certain things okay, I'm making this. It's because you learn to cook by cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me myself, I learned to cook through recipes. All right, I was the male. I didn't get taught cooking, so to speak, from my mother. Aside from my father, and he did the basics, the meats and stuff like that. So while for mine, I do have to write a lot of mine down, but growing up, at least my generation and before, you learn to cook by cooking. You learn that when you're making certain things, you use a certain amount of, or around a certain amount of flour, or around a certain amount of whatever. And you just go from there. So it was ingrained from the moment you learned. When they took away home ec, that took away a lot of that.
Sad.
And people just don't learn that way anymore. And that's why, a lot of the people, that you may know, especially from our generation, they don't use recipes because that's how they learned.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how I learned. I just learned being in the kitchen with my grandmother and her just showing me things, and I just paid attention. And I mean, sometimes it would be just as simple as she would say, I hate sweet potato pie, y'all. I'm still black.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Don't
take your card yet.
Don't revoke my card, all right?
But your card.
I don't like it. However, I know how to make it. And I know all about it, even though I can't stand it.
My grandmother taught me how to make that too, and apple pie.
Yeah, and so she would teach me, even though I didn't like it, and she knew I wouldn't eat it. But she'd say, "Well, you should know how to make it in case you need to make it for your kids one day or for somebody else one day." And so every time it came to the point where you would taste test it to see if you needed more cinnamon or more this or more that, I was like, can't do it. And she's like, well, you got to taste your food as you go. You got to taste your food and see if it's there. So I developed this technique because I hate sweet potato pie, y'all, where I would not taste it. I would go by the smell, like how it would smell. And I would say, it doesn't smell like there's enough cinnamon. And I would add more. It doesn't smell like there's enough something, and then I would add more, and it actually comes out perfect. And I don't taste it. Now, see, I just go by the smell.
That's the way I am with I don't like potato salad. Never have.
I love potato salad.
Everybody, Mrs. Family, they love it. And it was passed down to her to make on New Year's when we had the New Year's gathering here. And the funny part is, we have learned through the years that if she feels once it reaches the point that it tastes too salty, that it's perfect for everybody else in the family. so we've learned that. And yeah, there's little quirks. You'll learn things for people too. But that's just the way hers is. And I guess that's why anymore I don't put much of any extra salt above what a recipe calls for anymore, because she doesn't. I mean, she doesn't use it except about the amount that I use now too. And I guess that's why, because salt's always had a strong taste to her. So she used less of it, and in turn has made me use less. But we both love salt, don't get me wrong.
This question is for you, Southern Tech girl.
Yeah. Most sweet potatoes are actually yams.
Listen, I don't do yams. I don't do none of that. I don't like it. I mean, I'm just weird like that. I don't like mayonnaise.
She said if it don't look like a normal potato, she ain't touching it.
I have weird little quirky taste, I'll admit. And then there are things that I do eat that other people kind of despise, but I don't care for mayo. I
love
never
mayo.
have.
That's my bad weakness, because it got to be Miracle Whip. I don't like none of the other ones.
I'll tell you a way to use mayo that you'll actually like, because I hate mayo with a passion. Take chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken breast. You can do whatever seasoning you want on them, but put some mayo on them before you bake them.
Makes them moist.
And it makes them almost dripping moist, but you taste none of the mayo. None of it.
No.
Mayo,
try that.
I don't think I can do it.
The smell of mayo literally makes me gag. But when you put, like Butler said, you put on the chicken breast before you bake it, it keeps it moist. It completely melts away, sort of like butter. But there's no aftertaste, there's no after smell or nothing with it.
Listen, you had me on the salmon, all right? But
I'm telling you.
But you might be pushing it on the mayo part.
I'm telling you, it's the best thing you can use, bar none, to keep a chicken breast from drying out when you're baking it or grilling it. I'm telling you. And you will not taste it at all. The way they got me is my sister didn't tell me, because she knew how I was with mayo. She didn't bother telling me until after I'd ate like 3 pieces. And because it was so good and so moist, and I just kept eating. I loved it. And then she told me, I said, no, you're full of it. And her husband just started rolling. He said, no, she's not. She learned that trick.
Okay, so you know what? Somebody's going to have to trick me and do that with my chicken. I am not doing it. Someone's gonna have to trick me. I don't even buy mayo in the store. Like, I walk past it really fast.
The next time
what about your children? They don't like it either?
No, they don't. Well, I'm lucky in that way. They don't like it.
The next time you bake it, then here's don't trick yourself, and this will prove it to you. Then, since your kids don't either, take 1 chicken breast, do it with it, and then give that one to one of the kids and watch their reaction.
Damn, Mom.
Dog, you got me out here tricking my kids now. Okay.
That's how much strength I have.
I'm gonna get with that. I'll get at a shot, because I trick them all the time in other ways. So I mean, this is fine. Oh, Cam B, you are. Listen, Cam. Me and you, we can hang out because we eat the same stuff. I eat egg roll in a bowl all the time. I love it. I use Kerrygold butter.
I use Kerrygold butter in the kitchen now. I use that.
If you're going to do butter and you're wanting to get healthier, make your own. What is it called, Butler? You and me were discussing this the other day.
What's that? Like Amish butter?
No. Where you make your own, where you process it. Clarified butter.
Clarified butter, okay.
Because it removes all the bad stuff out of the butter, just about.
Don't what's the name have clarified butter? What's it? Land O'Lakes?
Some of them may sell it, but you can buy just about any. You can buy any butter and make clarified butter yourself at home, and it lasts for like 6 months.
Wow. So when is your cooking channel going to start? Everybody put what ones in the chat.
Yeah, we're ready.
Well, see, then that means I got to buy a camera. I don't know if I can do that.
Come on now.
Yeah, even if you get a camera, you don't got to show your face. I've seen plenty of cooking channels where a person never showed their face.
Oh, yeah, they just show them round bellies. That's how you know.
Well,
That's
you
how
already
you know
told
they're
us. You already told us. You already told us that, so that won't be a surprise.
Yeah, see, that's how you know they're a good cook.
Hey,
Yes.
Mark, you have buffalo fish?
No, I've never had that. You talking about it's sort of like buffalo
Let's see,
chicken
dear.
and all?
Mm-hmm.
No. It's a type of fish.
Oh no, I've never had it.
I want to say it's like carp though, but I could be wrong.
I'm definitely going to try that chicken thing you just said.
So it's like goldfish,
Yeah, right.
because that's all goldfish are. Carp. They're another member of the carp family.
Carp, catfish, all on the same line as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Now I will say I do love me some catfish, but it has to be done right. Otherwise, it ain't no good. And I say that because I like the flavor. And 90% of restaurants wash, overwash it, and it washes all the flavor out of it. And again, it's not something I eat often because they're a bottom dweller, and that's not very healthy.
Right.
Yeah, I can't do the catfish. I can, I like fishing, so I like catching it, but I would give it away to somebody else as far as eating. I just can't eat it. And they look so weird. I can't get past, I think, how they look. I'm the same way about lobster.
I love some lobster now.
And
Mm-hmm.
I look at lobster and I'm
no. Especially if you go to Red Lobster and you see the lobsters in the tank, you be like, everybody eat that? No.
I love lobster tail.
That's the first thing you see. You go in the Red Lobster. They be in them cages like, help me.
I love lobster.
Yeah, they want to be out and they want freedom. And I want to grab them and just take them. And
when they grab you back, you gonna
I tell you what, you take them little bands off their clippers and you just grab one and take it. See
I am not interested in eating lobster at all.
At that point, you'll want somebody to bake it.
Russell Dye said, just put a camera in the kitchen and cook.
That's smart. Yeah, I mean, I would subscribe to your cooking channel. I mean,
I would too.
Look, me and Miss Shrink and Sharon, we could be guests on there occasionally.
Oh,
we can make a guest appearance.
Yeah, I'd love to be a guest on your cooking show.
Hey, Maud.
We'll
get your camera. Don't worry about that, buddy.
Actually, I'm wanting to put together an audio system for podcasts. Because I'm eventually going to be doing a podcast. I'm trying to get it all lined out. So.
And
Paper Plate Fast said he'd love to go fishing and camping and fishing with you. We love to go camping with Ma dear, but we wanted to do the cookout camping. When we send the money to cater food. We'll have with some sides.
I like fishing and I like the idea of camping, but I don't think I like the reality of it.
Well, I'm with the city girl, so she doesn't like camping unless it involves a camper. And a very good, very nice camper, or a cabin, or something like that.
That's what I'm saying, like a cabin.
Now, I don't want to be sleeping on the actual ground. I look at my backyard in the South. I mean, it gets in the hundreds down here. A couple weeks ago, we were at like 97, 98, and the humidity is ridiculous. And just going outside and sitting on my deck and watching all the little critters in my yard. There's no way I'm sleeping on that ground. No way. I don't know what half of those things are. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot of stuff. And the hotter it gets, the more stuff that comes out. And we have mosquitoes down here that are as big as your hand. So I like the idea of camping, but I think the reality of it, especially in the South, it would be so hot.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd be miserable.
Oh, I've been camping in Texas now. It ain't too bad.
I went camping in Florida. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought. But like I said, we was in a cabin. We weren't outside in tents. So it was
I was in a tent.
Nice cabin.
I've camped in tents when it was below zero. So now, mind you,
some people are cut out for that.
Mind you, I don't do that anymore. I'm older. I'm wiser. Therefore, I want a cabin or a camper.
Exactly.
I can do a cabin. I don't even think of that as camping, though.
Even if we didn't go camping, we could meet like at a park. We could do the cookout at a nice park.
Yeah, well, I mean, like last year we went to a place down toward the border with Virginia, and with her brother and his family, and of course they have a really big nice pool behind camper, and we were there. They were there all week, but we went down there, stayed for about 2 or 3 days, took 2 of the grandkids with us, and of course, now all their cooking that they did was on the stove in the camper, but or the majority of it was. And then they had a lake there that had a small beach and everything. So we were down there with the grandkids a lot, and nephews. So there's a lot more to do that as far as when you're camping than just sitting there. But we had a nice camper. We weren't in tents at all.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I can go if I'm not in a tent. That's my whole thing. I don't want to be in a tent, or I don't want to be in a sleeping bag on the actual ground. If I'm in a bed or a camper or a cabin, I'm fine.
Now, Shelly Shell, you made the comment about the mosquitoes at night. We were talking about that earlier.
OFF.
Now, if you plant lemongrass and lavender in pots and put them around on your deck and all, and you can even put them in the yard, but in pots you can control where they're at, like around you. Those help fend off mosquitoes and other pests like that as well at night.
Paper Plate Fan said that you can be cooking by doing TikTok because he's a food ninja.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on the cook gadgets as far as
I am.
Well,
I mean, as far as you had. Well, you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the air fryer and Ninja and stuff like that. Now I do have a NutriBullet for smoothies. All the other stuff is basic to a degree. We have the blender. We have an electric can opener, even, by God. We have a crock pot. I have a casserole crock pot. Nice thing about that is you can take it out of the crock pot and bake in the oven with it. Now I do own an air fryer. I'm usually not the one using it. The kids do when they're over. A lot of my cooking is either stainless steel or cast iron. And now we do have a KitchenAid. A KitchenAid is a must. Hand mixer, stuff like that, but we don't have any of the higher tech stuff. We just don't have a need for it. One of our most requested desserts is an apple cake, and now we do have a gadget that we use to cut and core the apples. I literally just set the apple on the cutting board, set this on top of it, push down, done. Gadgets like that, yes, we do have. I've got a mandolin slicer, stuff like that. But as far as electronic gadgets, no, I don't have that. Just the stuff that makes other little things easier.
I mean, like you said earlier, like a Southern Tech girl like myself and you, we learned to cook the old-fashioned way. But what made me start writing down what happened because there was a lot of people in my family not remembering the recipes or stuff like that. And I wanted my children, even though I had them in the kitchen with me, I wanted to write it down so they could have something to visually to go back and look at. If it is a recipe and they're like, what's that recipe Mama taught me? But I haven't cooked it in forever or something like that. So that's why I started writing recipes down as I was making it and stuff because I wanted them to have it to pass on down to, whenever I have grandchildren or anything like that. So that's my reason for writing recipes, writing them down. But to do it without a recipe, I can do without a recipe, or I can go on Pinterest and find a good recipe. I love both ways.
Yeah. And for me, I mean, there's a ton of recipes that sound good out there, but for me, I just like good old fashioned, what I call country cooking, not Southern. There is a difference between country cooking and Southern. And I learned that growing up in Indiana. Country cooking is all about minimalistic cooking, minimal ingredients, minimal prep. And, it's a disregard to the time to cook, but as far as prep and seasonings, ingredients and all, it's all minimalistic. Fried chicken country fried chicken is literally salt, pepper, flour, and a little bit of grease in the cast iron. That's it. When you're done, it doesn't look like southern fried chicken or, chicken you get at a fast food place or anything. It doesn't look anything like that. That's the type of cooking I grew up with and what I prefer.
Yeah.
Cast iron pans and skillets, or I'm sorry, cast iron skillets and pots.
I've got several cast iron skillets. I've got a cast iron skillet for cornbread that shapes it like pie pieces. I've got several griddles with weights. I've got a cast iron biscuit pan that is a cast iron version of kind of like a muffin tin, but made for biscuits. I've got Dutch ovens.
I love my Dutch oven. Oh my goodness. I love my Dutch oven.
I've got quite a few different little things for cast iron. I mean, the grill I bought even has cast iron grates on it, so.
Got to. It lasts longer.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of cast iron myself. I grew up cooking on a gas stove with cast iron, so that's what I know best.
Yep. And my daughter she did a Pampered Chef thing the other week, or about a month or so ago, and she got a couple Pampered Chef cast iron skillets, which their skillets aren't the round ones. They're more squarish.
That's the style.
And they say Pampered Chef and all that, but they're actually made by Lodge, which is currently the top company if you're going to buy a cast iron to get them from. For it being more like the old school style cast iron, the way it's made, and the quality of the metal.
Damn thing's heavy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, around here, cast iron is just passed down
from generation to
from
generation.
person to person. Yeah, so I think the stuff that I have. Yeah, I think the cast iron stuff that I have may have come from my great grandmother.
Very possible.
Yeah, they don't wear out, do they?
Nope.
No, they don't.
And believe it or not, it's minute, but anything you cook in it, some of the iron does cook off into your food. And that's it's actually considered
good for
it's not a negative thing because it's the raw form. So the iron that you get into the food from it is actually the iron you need in your body.
There you go.
Now we'll tell you, if you're ever looking at buying cast iron, do not buy any cast iron that does not give you a maximum temperature on it. The reason I say that is because the ones, at least in my experience, that do not list a top temperature are ones that are using substandard metals in their skillets or other cast iron cookware. That's why they don't have that, because it varies so much. Now, Lodge will always give you a top temperature point for their skillets and other items. Like I said, the ones that don't is because it varies too much. They can't narrow it down because they're using substandard metals.
Right.
Sharon, we're approaching
we're going
the mark. So you know.
Pardon me?
We're approaching the mark, just so you know.
Yeah, that's why we're going to get ready to wind it down. So with that being said, I was trying to make sure I clicked on everybody's comments first. Yeah, make sure you oil them. That's right. It's called season them. Make sure you season them pans.
Yeah, every time I cook with mine, I take them to after I finish eating, I go back to the stove and check them, make sure they're cooled down enough for me to handle by hand. And then I take them straight to the sink. And I have what's called the original ringer. It's on Amazon. There's knockoffs, but they're not as good. They don't last. The original ringer, it's about $18. It's basically a chainmail washcloth.
Okay.
And sometimes I might have to push down just a little bit, like when you would need like the something that may be stuck onto it. Especially if you cook, cheese, or if you're like me and just absolutely can't cook eggs worth of crap and they stick to it. you really don't have to apply pressure with these. I literally whisk mine around over and over, and it just tears right through the stuff without pressure. And I've got 2 skillets in particular that had great levels of seasoning on them that was pretty thick. And it's a friend of mine cooked with them one morning, and before I knew it, he was cleaning them with something he shouldn't have. And it put deep gouges through the seasoning and all that. Well, this has been helping me rebuild and level off that seasoning on them over time. And, after I do that, I've got a certain washcloths I use to dry them. And then I check the inside. And if it's not shiny, after drying it, I go ahead and turn the stove on. I set the skillet on the stove, let it heat up a little bit. Then I take some more shortening. That's what the oil of choice I use for the seasoning. And using a paper towel, I spread it out super thin on it while it's heating because it helps it melt immediately. And once it's all melted and it looks like it's coated good, I take it off, and then I pat it with another paper towel to get any excess built up oil that may have gotten on it when I was doing that. And then I just let it cool down and then put it away, and it's shiny as all get out when I do it every time.
Oh, that sounds good.
Mr.
Chang, go ahead.
No, it says sounds like a process.
Oh, it is. When it comes to my cast iron, every time. Now, if I don't
but
get
it's
to
worth
it
it
right away,
because it's worth it like them devices.
Yep. If I don't get to it right away, which sometimes happens, especially late at night, because where I work second shift, the next morning, I'll put just a little bit of water in the bottom of them that there's stuff stuck in it, and put it on the stove, let it heat that stuff up to loosen it up just a little bit, and then go through my regular process with it. But I always put it back on the stove after I wash it, regardless, to help dry off any excess water that my drying doesn't get.
So do you ever use kosher salt to clean it?
Only if it's really bad. And I say that because I have yet to run into anything since getting my ringer that it doesn't get off with and doesn't damage the pan. Now, if you look at the reviews on Amazon, you see people, this strip's 60 years worth of seasoning, blah, blah, blah. I have to say, after personal use, if you scrape your seasoning off with the ringer, you're just an idiot. And I say that because you don't have to apply that much pressure with this thing. Because you got to think, like I said, it's like chainmail, so it's little metal rings. But they're not real small. I mean, yes, they're small, but not super small, so it doesn't scour your pan. If you're digging gouges into your seasoning with it, it's because you're applying way too much pressure. And if you're somebody who cleans their skillet that way, then you just need to get you a Lodge nylon brush for cast iron. And that's what you need to use instead of this. And as cheap as both are, hell, you can get both. And that way you can experiment with them together and know which one's better for you. But I've seen a lot of reviews where people just destroy the seasoning on their pans, and that's why. It's because they scrub way too hard.
You're right. Also, I want to say real quick, before we end real quick, Mr. James said earlier, the only place he's camping at is at someone's house or a hotel. He's not camping.
And so I used to use salt all the time to clean them, but since I got that's why I no longer use it.
I gotcha. Yeah, I had something like what you're describing, this little ringer thing, but it was something kind of handmade that we used to use, and finally I had to let it go because it was on its last leg. And so now I use kosher salt.
Yeah, if you do just like on Amazon, just a search on there for the original ringer, actually looks like it's gone up in price. It's right now $21.99. Regular $34.99. It'll say the ringer, the original stainless steel cast iron cleaner. It's an 8x6 inch. But yeah, that's what I use. That, or if you're a person that normally scrubs a little bit, you may want to look at the Lodge nylon brush instead. And then of course that with kosher salt is perfect for cast iron as well.
That sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to go ahead and do this cooking channel ASAP.
Yes, we are. I'm so ready for it. I was ready for it yesterday.
Look, I'll come. I'll join your panel.
I
We'll talk
will.
about
I will
food.
too. Camby says she'll join your panel.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
I'll
a
show
lot of
you
people
guys.
will.
I'll show you guys when I'm cooking every day for these kids.
There you go.
So,
Yep, dinner today is. I mean, even meal prep, you know. Shoot. So yeah, I'll be glad to join your panel and stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in the community that love to cook. I mean, cooking and tech.
Hey, we all got to eat.
That's
Exactly.
it.
We all gotta eat. We gotta eat to live. So hey,
Indeed.
may as well enjoy it while we're doing it. And it's a lot we can learn from each other too. Recipes, just on this show alone, I've learned that. I've been studying. I done filled up a page and a half just taking notes on what people in the comments been saying and listening to you guys. You know.
We learned that Southern Tech loves mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you got jokes.
you know what to say.
And that her favorite dessert is sweet potato pie.
That's it.
And her favorite meat is salmon.
There you go. There you go.
And a little funny looking catfish.
You
It's
love
the funny looking
Yeah, with
catfish.
the whiskers. Yeah, but we enjoy having you here, Southern Tech Girl. You are always welcome on the panel. If it's a topic we talk about, not even just food. If you find out whatever, I put the link in the chat, jump on. Like I said, I know this is MS7 morning show, but it's all the MS7 show. It's just on my platform. And it's definitely everybody that's here's platform. Everybody's welcome. Unless we're having something that's a closed panel because we're trying to stick to a particular thing.
Which we never.
You know, everybody's. Yeah, we never do. We try to, but it never happens.
No.
So, hey, Brad, never happens. But you know what? It's a variety show. That's where a lot of the talk shows and stuff go. It's variety, and it's all about variety, you know, and having fun at the end of the day. But with that being said, you have anything you want to say to Southern Tech Girl before we shut it down? Because it is getting to that magic time.
Thanks for having me, guys. I don't normally do panels and stuff like that. I stay in the background, but this was fun. So I may do it again one day. And I want to come to Maud's house. So you're going to have to send me some directions so I could come eat. But thank you guys. And thank all you guys in the chat for your comments. And I'll see y'all the next time.
Oh, yes. Okay. Mr. Butler?
Hey man, another great show, Sharon. Thank you to the panel, Southern Tech. Thank you for dropping by, Maud. You know, it's always a pleasure having you, man. We learn so much from you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all, and thanks for sticking in here with us for 3 hours.
As usual, as per usual, except for yesterday.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. My dear.
Appreciate everybody for joining us as we talk a little bit of everything.
Yes.
And hope to see you in the next show.
Unscripted, baby.
Oh,
Yeah, very unscripted. Unscripted reality.
That's it.
Yes. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here, and I really do appreciate it. We'd like to thank Southern Tech Girl for blessing our panel, Maldiv as usual for blessing our panel. Like we said, everyone is welcome here. And it's ironic because when I started the show, I didn't know till about to start the show. Nobody was able to really come. And I was like, what in the world am I going to talk about? But, you know, Lord puts it in a way, does things for a reason, you know. And, you know, unfortunately, we do pray that Ken gets well. We know he's getting better and stuff. We want him to take his time, you know, with his diabetes diagnosis. We want him to do his lifestyle change. So that did give me something different to talk about today. And I really appreciate everybody in the chat for your feedback and everybody on the panel. And we'll be back again tomorrow at 9:35 for the MS7 Morning Show. This is Sharon. Thank you for coming. Yay. Oh, also, on your way out, if you didn't get a chance, hit that like button, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. The friends don't let friends miss the MS7 Morning Show. And within that bell icon, press all so you get all of our notifications. This is Sharon, MS7. We're out.
Good radio podcast.